If I'm correct, we should be live right now. Let me make sure we're live, though. Oh, I need to make sure of one thing. Yeah, not to take away from the names. Let me see. Let me see. One sec. I'm gonna go to my own show right now. Stream to see if it's working or not. Let me see. I gotta stay talking so I make sure that okay, let me I'm gonna shut up. If any one of you want to say just something so I know the stream is working. Go ahead. Okay, let me
Yo.
I'm gonna shut
testing
up.
1, 2, 3. See if we're live.
If any one of you want to say just something so I know the stream is working. Go ahead. Okay, let me
Yo.
I'm gonna shut
testing
up.
1, 2, 3. See if we're live.
Great. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, so sorry about that, not professional enough, but at some point I will get it. Yeah, what's good, everyone? I'm Kahraba or Omar. Feel free to call me whatever. We're going to have a great conversation, but first, I'm actually going to debut my show, the name of my show, which is going to be Game Slayer or Game Slayers. I still need to think about that. I'm right now in the middle. Oh yeah, Race. Oh yeah. Race, I see you.
You don't get in.
You need to be in. Okay, give me a second. Hit me up in on Twitter with your Discord account name, so I invite you. Oh, he hit
No, you
me
gotta
up.
know the password. You gotta know the password to get in.
Yeah, you gotta be part of the cool people, you know. This is what I keep telling people. Okay, yeah, for the people that are watching right now, please give it a second. We got a few people coming in, and I actually forgot to add him, and I'm gonna add him right now.
So one thing that'll probably help, I is a couple of people. If you're having people that are going to be on later, you can always invite them like way before the show, and that will help you so you don't have to sit there and invite people right as.
It's like Race. Is anyone is friends with Race? If so, can you invite him to the show? You should be able to do so. Not only mods can do that.
We can just put the link in our actual chat.
I don't think that's how it works. I need to actually send
I got you, man.
Oh,
I live on Discord.
He already sent me the name. I will add him right now. To the people, I'm sorry about this being so unprofessional, but yeah, life happened. W underscore roll M Okay, I just added you as a friend on my Discord. Accept, so I send you the invite. I need to see you before I'm able to add you. This is a nightmare, but yeah, no.
I mean, I made it easy. You can just click on the link in chat.
Yeah,
but
I seen him. Hey. Invite to server. I genuinely don't know how to invite him via link. Oh, Nate, you did it. Okay. Yeah, I'm genuinely new to this stuff.
that's what I said. I got you.
Yeah.
Like, Discord is like my other home.
Oh, okay, great. Because a few months ago only, I discovered how to. You need to scroll up so you can reach what's called. Okay, now Race, all you need to join the general and you should be in. So come in. Okay.
Yeah, just
so. Yeah, so for the people watching, I'm very sorry, but trust me, if you ever start your own show, you're gonna realize just how not per se difficult, but more like convoluted, if I would say so myself. Before I start, I genuinely want to give a huge shout out to Jay Barry and Persona for hosting that stream with Sean Layden. Very informative. Yep. Very well done. So shout out to them. Now on with the show. Yeah, this week was great when it comes to gaming news, and I can't wait to cover it with you guys. But first, let's talk about who we are and what we're playing. We're gonna start with our guest, Morgana. Go ahead.
Hey everybody. So I'm playing Death Stranding, Director's Cut, and hopping between that and The Tourist right now. So those are the games I'm playing.
Did you play the previous Death Stranding?
I did not. I did not get to play it on PS4. So this is my first experience. I'm having a really good time.
Interesting. Well, to be fair, did you unlock the hovering suit yet?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, I am on Act 3? The beginning of Act 3.
Okay, so you're still just playing the normal game, because when you once you unlock the hover suit, then, in my opinion, from what I've seen, the game becomes super easy. But yeah, glad
I'm
you're
trying
having
to unlock everything I can.
Yeah, glad you're having a great time. How about what do you find from you? What do you think from your music?
The music?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's epic. Like this soundtrack is phenomenal. Like I usually have to stop and just listen whenever one of the songs come on. That's when I stop and take, do some photo mode or take some videos, because the music mixed with the scenery, it's a real vibe.
I genuinely know how that feels. Trust me. Yeah. Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as what we're playing this week, I mean, I'm still working on Kenna. I mean, it's been a lot of fun still. Trying to go for all these collectibles. So it's a little more than I thought, but I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I also started It Takes Two last night.
Nice.
So
you're
playing
with your girlfriend, right?
I am.
And how
far did you
the
get?
game?
Where were we? We started mad late for one, so it was like 3 a.m. when I started. So I think we killed the vacuum cleaner if that makes sense. So yeah, we killed that, and then we got a little bit further after that, and then we called it and just watched TV or something.
Are you enjoying it?
But yeah, I am. It's getting better as I go along.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it started off fairly simple, and then they're starting to add other elements to it. You know, I can definitely see how it evolves over time and stuff. Now that certain other elements have started to show up, and some of the stuff that I've seen, you know, I know it's gonna just evolve and do some really unique levels. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets better and better and better as you go.
Nice.
And they're always switching up the type of gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, I'm definitely
does it
looking forward to
have
that.
any DualSense support, or are you playing it on PC?
No, we're playing it on PS5. It's basic. I mean, it has it. You know, they talk through the controller and stuff, and you know, of course the vibration is increased and stuff, the sensitivity, that kind of stuff. So there is a full-on PS5 version. And then you can feel the tension and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely has the integration. I don't think it's as crazy as what they've done with like the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut or the Death Stranding director's cut, but it is pretty good.
Nice. I'm actually gonna mod.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mod Cyber Dragon because I know him and he is the first person to be here. So
Yeah, no problem.
let me see. Go ahead.
But,
From now on,
yeah,
Cyber
as far as,
is a mod. Feel free
Let me see.
to mod. Have fun. I can't wait to play it with Gaming Despair when he can, cause I'm super duper excited for this game. Also, the creator of this game, he is from Lebanon, so I gotta support it. Cause I'm from Lebanon myself. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going through Kina right now. But afterwards,
I need to stop
I'm
you,
trying to.
and I need to stop Innate. I should have corrected you both. It's Kana.
Is it
If you
Kana?
played the game, you
Kana.
know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm playing through that, but afterwards, I'm trying to expand the type of games that I play, and I'm feeling really left out because apparently a lot of the people that I talk with and hang out with are really into JRPGs. And the most JRPG games I've played are, I don't know, would you technically call Pokemon a JRPG?
Definitely. That's the beginning of a JRPG.
Yeah, so I played a shit ton of Pokemon. Other than that, the only thing I've ever played was one of the Final Fantasy games from a Pizza Hut demo disc on the OG PlayStation. So that's as much JRPG experience I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to get more into that. So I'm looking at Persona 5 Royale to play.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I would recommend you to play. Okay, so the thing is, well, we needed Kofi because he is the better explainer in this one. But I will try to explain it. Persona 5 have an ending. Persona 5 Royale have a different ending. However, when you're gonna play Persona 5 Striker, it's going to follow the first ending of Persona 5. So, do what you do. You might wanna look up the ending for Persona 5 on YouTube or something and enjoy Royal. Because Royal does come with a lot of quality life control. So yeah, enjoy it. Glad you're having fun with it. Yeah, so we were going to have Salty and Akira. Akira is too busy with doing his own pace. He forgot, which is no problem. As for Salty, he will show up when he will show up. Also, we're gonna have the Rec join us in an hour or so. As for what I am playing Kena. I already beat the game. I am just now replaying it on the hardest difficulty so I can get the full plat for it. And yeah, hardest difficulty is no joke, dude.
Man, I'm telling you.
It's the issue I genuinely have with it is when you get hit, you lose mana. Like, that's the biggest issue. I have no problem with hardest difficulty. That I can manage. But when you're making me lose mana, I'm like, dude. And the only way you can get mana, gain mana, is by dealing damage to enemies. That one gets difficult for me. But it's still a fantastic game. Like, I need to put it like this. I just bought 2 games. One is Star Ocean something old school, and the other one is East Night. Shout out to everybody he knows. And Persona. And the thing is with both games I wanna play, but I am still playing Kena. That's how addictive Kena is. Also, I wanna get the Blood. I wanna brag about it. Not per se brag, but when I love a game, I try to plat it because it's like me giving it its honor. And yeah, so Kena plat is. We're gonna start with our first topic, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah. What about me?
Oh shoot! Yeah, I take.
Oh yeah, the hell with me, right?
Yeah, I
fuck
take
me, right?
my L on this one.
Fuck you, Race. Fuck you.
Oh my
You
God.
I want to fuck that again. Let me tell you about the first topic.
Hey,
That's fucked
you're not here. You're just a ghost. He's not here. He's not part of the.
I am a vengeful race.
Hey, go ahead, Race, and I take my L on this one. Go ahead.
No, well, I apologize, man.
Dude,
when you say 6
absolutely
o'clock,
no need to apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, well, what am I playing? I am playing Death Stranding over again. I am at the end of Bridge of Spirits, and I am playing Diablo 2 at the moment.
How is Diablo 2?
Just like every other Diablo.
So, no improvement visually, gameplay wise.
It looks better from what it used to look like back in the day, but I'm enjoying it. Death Stranding is getting my time over again, which is crazy. I think I love that game, so that's why it took a little longer for me to do Kena and focus on Diablo, and I got freaking Alan Wake and Far Cry coming in a couple days, so that makes it even terrible more. I mean, so
this few months have been crazy when it comes to games. To be fair, this entire year have been fantastic when it comes to games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with the first topic. Bluepoint in the house. Morgana, go ahead.
I feel like that's an acquisition that everybody saw coming. Like, even before the announcement of the other studio, House Marquee, when it was kind of, there was like something went around showing that it was also going to be Bluepoint 2 that was going to get acquired.
Let me explain that.
But,
that was done by Japanese Twitter account. PlayStation Japanese Twitter account. So, yeah, they took an L on that one for showing it earlier.
Exactly. But it's like, even before that, like, we all knew it was coming. Like, with Demon Souls and, with the hype around it and the success of Demon Souls, it was just a matter of time before, Sony put a ring on that. So, but I'm glad they did. I'm excited to see the projects they're working on. As far as I know, like, I keep hearing different things from different people, but I think they're working on 2 projects. One's a remake of a beloved franchise, and then the other is like an all new IP, I guess. Either way, if it's one or the other, I'm excited to see whatever it is. But yeah, it just seems Sony Studios, they're not done acquiring them. as far as Herman Hulst said, they're still going to continue acquiring
We're
studios
gonna
that
we're
fit.
gonna focus on that as a different topic. I'm curious
Oh, my
what you're.
bad.
No,
My bad.
I just decided right now. But continue.
But yeah, that's it. Like I'm just really happy that they finally cemented that relationship with Bluepoint, and that's just another good studio to join PlayStation Studios. So
Okay. How many games have you played from the Bluepoint?
me, I played Demon Souls as well as oh my god, I'm losing the name of the last game I played
Shut
from
up the
them.
Colossus.
Yes, Shadow of the Colossus. Sorry, it's been a minute. Those are the two games that I played from Bluepoint.
Same. And if you would give the edge to one, which one would it be? On my.
I'm gonna say Shadow of the Colossus just because I really love the atmospheric realm of that game, just how open and big it was in the world and the music. I mean, that's the same for Demon Souls, but I just really like Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay. I just wanna give an update on Salty. He is listening to the show and he is in chat already, but he is having daddy duty. So that daddy duty comes first.
Excuse.
If you're a parent, you know. Who was it? Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the acquisition goes, I mean, like Morgan said already, I mean, we all kind of seen that coming. I mean, they've done plenty of good work already. They've got a decent, proven, track record. With a lot of the work they've done, porting Flower and Titanfall and some of the stuff they did back in the day. As well as working with the God of War collection and all that stuff back on PlayStation 3. So I mean, they've been doing it for a long time. They're not new to this. And even working with Blast Factor, which was actually for what it was actually a really creative title for a lot of people back in the day. I know personally, as far as previous stuff that I've played from them, the Nathan Drake collection, and then Gravity Rush Remastered as well. And then, of course, Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. So, I mean, honestly, I've basically seen them as part of the in-house team already, but I know when they bring them in-house, it's going to really give them a new level of resources and internal development tools that they didn't previously have access to. So, I'm looking forward to what they're just going to do going forward. Like she said, I mean, when they stated the original new IP, that's intriguing. But I mean, I'm a fan of what PlayStation has done for 25 plus years. So whatever they could be working on, as far as that beloved remake, I am thoroughly looking forward to that. And I think, like most fans, I hope it's The Legend of Dragoon. So we will see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone wants a Legend of Dragoon. Akira would agree, Persona would agree, J-Body would agree. Including myself would agree as well. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the acquisition for Bluepoint just felt really natural, like to the point where, like Morgan was saying that it's like, okay, when are you gonna do it? We know you're gonna do it. Like, come on. And then when they announced it, it was like everyone was like, well, it's about time. But I enjoyed the Uncharted that they did. I have to say though, that first one, I think I died just one too many times because of I couldn't jump right, and the boat that boat chase, and with all the explosive barrels in the water and stuff, like I almost rage quit on that. But I powered through it, and it paid off at the end and got me hooked and kept wanting to play the rest of the Uncharted games. And they just got better and better as they went on.
Definitely.
Nice. You played the Gravity Rush collection remaster?
Yes.
I highly recommend it for the people who did not play that. That's how I got introduced to Gravity Rush. I never played it on Vita. Ray, go ahead.
Sir, what's up?
Yeah, go ahead. What's your opinion about the acquisition?
Oh, Bluepoint?
Yeah, good morning.
No, sorry, I got stuck.
Nah, I'm
over here,
just
so I apologize.
fucking with you. Don't worry about it.
No, Bluepoint. That wasn't a like it. I wasn't like, oh shit about it, because I don't know. They always felt like they were part of PlayStation because they always do things for them. But yeah, I played a few of their games. I did like a remaster for Uncharted. I brought that, and the Shadow Colossus. And I didn't play Demon Souls though, man. I'm not a Souls guy. I suck at those games, so I left that one alone. But like everybody else, I do want Legend of Dragoon. That's the game I wasn't able to beat. A friend of mine, I brought it from him, and he had all this but the last one, and I missed out on what happens. So I would love to play that one if they did that remaster for it or remake.
Definitely. I think it'll be a first for a lot of people, which is why I think it's such a good choice. Like, there's so many new gamers out here now that have never gotten to experience that story, and even more that have become, RPG fans or JRPG fans in general. So, I mean, I think it's the perfect time.
Yeah, as for me, as much as I see people saying it's finally about time and it was meant to be, they could have easily missed a boat on this and not bought them. We have seen companies do that mistake, not the same mistake, but more like in general, not buy companies that they have worked with for a long period of time. Taking point with PlayStation, you have the studio that did what's called the Order 1886. I know they let them. Yeah. So that one hit. You have it from from Shuichida himself. His biggest regret is not bringing in from software. So, yeah, PlayStation have made that mistake, but also Xbox. In my opinion, Xbox did that with Moon Studio. Ori 1 and 2 are great games. Ori 2 is, to me, the difference between Uncharted 1 and 2. That's the jump in gameplay in game as a whole. So, I genuinely would have thought Xbox would buy Moon Studio, especially with the amount of money they have compared to PlayStation. For me, I played Demon Souls a little bit. I downloaded what's called Shadow of the Colossus. I'm fully aware of how great it is. I played the original game. And that's just my personal opinion. I just wish they added a few extra Colossus to fight with. Like, you went ahead and remade the entire thing. Fantastic. Like, genuinely fantastic. And you even revamped the controls a little bit to make it even play better. Like, amazing. But at least you could have added 1 or 2 new Colossus to fight. Like, that would have been the cherry on top. That have pushed people to the edge to actually play that game. For the ones that already played it and tried the new version for a little bit and was like, yeah, good enough, but too many games to play. Like, I would have I'm still going to play Shadow of the Colossus because that's one of the best IPs, in my opinion, the PlayStation have created. But I would have genuinely loved for them to add a few Colossus to play with. That would have been genuinely fun. It's a missed opportunity, in my opinion. As for what they're gonna make right now, well, one thing for sure, we have seen it with PlayStation. The second they got acquired, they start adding new funding. They upgraded their studio, give them more personnel. Apparently, they're working on not one but two games. One is a remake of an beloved IP, and the other is a new IP, which I'm pretty sure most people wanted Bluepoint to spread their wings and go and do their own IP and see what they can create. But I'm curious, as for what they should create, in my opinion, the fanboy in me, Legend of Dragoon, like, genuinely, everyone and their mother wants that IP to return. But if I know PlayStation, they might play it safe. What I mean by safe is create an IP that new, but not per se revolutionary in a way. Like, for example, Ghost of Tsushima is a fantastic IP, but it's quote unquote Assassin's Creed in Japan. You can basically say how it is. Old school Assassin's Creed in Japan. It's not revolutionary like a game like Returnal, how it's for the first time that you actually see an roguelite being a triple A in a way. So for me, as for Bluepoint, I would think they're gonna touch upon the RPG route, mostly the Western RPG, with PlayStation taking a hit, but with Microsoft buying ZeniMax and having no longer access to games like Skyrim and stuff like that. They're gonna need to do something to counter that, and I truly believe Bluepoint is going to be that team to create a new IP. They're gonna be Western RPG. We might see something like The Witcher, not per se The Witcher itself, but just something like that. And yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to see what they're going to create. What's your opinion about that, Morgan?
Yeah, I definitely want them to create a new IP. Like, I'm really interested to see what Bluepoint could do on their own, because they're phenomenal at what they do, which is, remaking classics and beloved games. But I would love to see, how that talent could be utilized in making a completely new IP, as well as, I would love them to remake, Dragon 2. But but I think my allegiance is more towards the new, even though I do want to remake, but yeah.
Which IP would you want them to create if you had the power to do so?
You mean like what new IP?
Yeah, new IP or returning IP if you had the power.
If I had the power, that's a good question. It'd go between Metal Gear Solid, probably 1, because I hear they're remaking 3, but I'd rather them. Well, not them, but I hear another studio is remaking 3, but I'd rather have 1.
Yeah, it actually doesn't make any sense for them to remaking 3 and not 1. Like, how do you?
Yeah,
like,
'cause 3 is kind of like a prequel to it, so I guess it's technically the beginning, but it's like there's nuances that you need from 1 to understand 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and also Legend of the Dragoon. So it's like between those two. Like, yeah. But I'd lean more towards Metal Gear Solid.
And if it's a new IP?
Yeah. I'd want them to do.
What happened? We're having technical difficulty.
Nothing wrong with a little diversity.
Oh, sorry about. Did you guys experience any technical difficulty on in the stream? If yes, then put one in the chat, please. Cause out of nowhere, my entire screen went black.
It sounds like you're still perfectly live, despite you leaving Discord. So, yeah, the last part of what she said got cut off when she said she preferred.
Are we still online? Let me see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're still online.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Got cut off when she said she
Are
preferred.
we still online? Let me. Yeah, sorry. It just. Yeah, so she did cut out. Okay, you did cut. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what happened, guys. Out of nowhere, Discord went on a black screen, and then it kind of like rebooted itself. So sorry about that. Can you repeat what you said about new IP, Morgan?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. Go ahead.
As far as a new IP, I was saying that I would prefer them to do something a little different from the PlayStation catalog, like the third-person action adventure. I love those, and I will always take more of those. But it's a little bit something diverse, like something that PlayStation's missing at the moment, or not technically missing, but lacking maybe. An RPG would be great, or anything really in the first person perspective. Yeah, just something a little different.
Gotcha.
And see what they can do with that. So yeah.
Okay, Rice, go ahead. Earth to Race, can you hear me?
He might be away at the moment.
Oh yeah, next time I'll ask him to mute his mic so I know.
So before we go to the next part, though, to something that you said, I don't personally see them making something in the realm against what Bethesda and Obsidian do, mainly because those two companies were basically the only two to do what they do, the way that they do it, for a reason. It takes a specific team and a specific skill set. Not that I don't think they could do it, but the size of the team and the investment to build up a team that's capable of building a Western style RPG, at least in the format that they do it, is a massive undertaking.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Gotcha.
That was just a wild wish.
Well, go ahead,
Yeah.
Nate. It's going to take. Go ahead. It's your turn. What's your opinion?
As far as the IPs, I said Legend of Dragoon earlier, so I mean that's going to be my preferred preference. But as far as them making a new IP, I would definitely hope that they would be bringing them in, or at least one of the current studios is working on an RPG. So since we don't know what a bunch of the studios are actually doing, like Morgan said, it's about what they're missing. Personally, from a first party studio perspective, and they really just haven't made an RPG in quite some time internally. So I think that would be interesting to see if they could do that. I mean, they've proven that they can. I mean, to the caliber that they remade Demon Souls is amazing. So they've had some experience in that world, rebuilding that world, working in an RPG that resembles those mechanics. And I mean, it'll be interesting. It would be interesting to see where they go with it. But like she said, they could go completely off the rails and bring something completely new, which I'm not opposed to. I mean, I didn't think I would like Blast Factor, and I mean, even that was when they were more indie, but that game was actually a lot of fun.
Interesting.
So, yep.
If you would want, if they would want to create a Bethesda type game or something like that, they need a large amount of people. So, how much people are we talking about, in your opinion?
I mean, we're talking. It's got to be pretty sizable. I mean, we're talking over 300 to 350.
Okay.
I mean, base, because if you listened recently to what was said, just doing the localization for it, because the other thing is they don't do the half talking, half like text like a lot of JRPGs do nowadays, where they talk on the mainline quests and then you read the rest of it. They don't do that. Everyone talks. So you have to have every single line in the game voiced, and then when you localize it, like they were speaking on recently with the upcoming Bethesda game with Starfield, then you're talking about working with, I think he said, over 300 and something individual actors just to localize it for the Japanese audience. So, so on and so forth for anyone else that you're going to localize it for. If you're going to have full speaking, capability. So, I mean, just that part alone is a massive undertaking.
Gotcha. Before we continue, I need to make sure, guys, are you hearing me well? Okay, so they are hearing. Okay, I had to make sure because chat was not moving for a second. We had. Okay. Oh. Okay. No. Okay. Did go?
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Okay.
Okay, so for remakes, I do not have a preference. I am more actually interested in a new IP. Now, as much as we've all said that Western RPG is something that is needed in the PlayStation catalog, I honestly believe that a studio does best when they do what they want to do. So then I have a question for you guys is, what genre do you think Bluepoint would lean most to when coming to make a new IP?
Actually, between fantasy, I think it's fantasy. That's their element with Gravity Rush being fantasy, Shadow of the Dragon fantasy, Demon Soul fantasy. But yeah, go ahead. One at a time. Nate.
As far as what I think they would do, I mean, if you're talking about a blend of what they've done so far, I mean, I honestly think it could turn into a nice blend for a different take on the Western RPG. So I think it's something that they could still definitely lean into. I guess that's more so why I think of it that way. They've kind of evolved from the indie studio and gone into these heavier Western style games. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus is not an RPG, but it just the movement system and the things that they learned with that, and then going into Gravity Rush is a very, very unique perspective for anyone that's played it. You know how insane that game can be. And then the experience, like I said, with Demon Souls, despite it being a JRPG, air quotes, the way people, because it's from there, it's still a very Western styled game in a lot of ways. So that's why I think if you put everything together that they've worked on, I think that's something that the studio would naturally be pretty good at. And then like Morgan said, at some point, if not particularly an RPG, more so a that they would fit right at home with that third person action adventure, and maybe do something unique with it.
Yeah, I am very interested to see what they're gonna create. I shout out to Craig, the tech guy, with his best IP opinion yet. Mass Effect remake, of course. What else from Craig? Wraith, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give us your opinion on what you would like. First of all, did you give your opinion? Okay. I think we skipped you, so go ahead and give us your opinion about what you would like Bluepoint to create, and also what's your opinion on PlayStation acquiring Bluepoint. Go ahead.
Oh well, I gave that opinion. I guess I'm really am a ghost. If you can't remember, I gave my opinion.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
but,
sorry, because you went away and I asked a question. Okay, I think it was about Bluepoint. What's called a new IP. What would you like them to make? A new IP or remake? What would it be? Go ahead.
Remake, man. I don't know. There's a lot of games out there, man. I would really like. If we're not gonna get the old infamous games, man, I'd rather them go ahead and remake those so I can play those again.
Yes.
If possible.
A new a remake of Infamous 1, 2, 3. Put it in a collection. I would buy that day zero.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because I would love to replay those again.
Yeah.
But new IPs, to me, I don't know. I need to see their identity pretty much because I know we just know them from like remakes more than their own stuff. So it's kind of tough to ask what I would like for them. But if anything, it would be a horror game because I love horror games, in my opinion.
I'm with you, Wraith. I'm with you 100% on both statements.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said makes sense because, I mean, we've seen studios really switch it up. So you just don't really know until that studio really kind of has a meeting, if you've actually seen the creation for Horizon Zero Dawn and the creative process from when it started. They went from, Killzone to what does everybody want to do? And there was literally 50 different ideas on the table. Then it was down to 20. Then it was down to 10, so on and so forth. And then they just kind of like, all right, I think this is it. And they kind of honed in on that idea. And then that idea got modified to an unprecedented degree. And then eventually, years later, came out to what we now know as Horizon Zero Dawn and, the upcoming Horizon Forbidden West. So, like you said, the process is so complex and organic that you just won't know until they kind of have a coming to minds meeting and really come up with something.
Right. They had people come up with ideas of what they would want to work on. And that's why I had made that statement earlier about I feel like studios do best when they work on what they want to work on and not just focus on what they think that the gaming community wants. And if you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, it's honestly a passion project for them. And you can just feel the love that they have in making the game and just in every aspect of that game.
Completely agree.
I agree as well as someone that loves Horizon Zero Dawn and can't wait for Forbidden West. Okay, did you give your opinion?
Did I what?
About a new.
Oh,
yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we're gonna.
I think you better start marking our names down.
Sorry. Yeah. PlayStation Trials. As good or bad? Who wanna go first?
I mean, I got you.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's something that if they're going to bring it out, like someone said earlier when it was brought up in the State of the Union this morning, that they need to be consistent with it. I think that's the key factor. They did mention, that it could be tricky, obviously, because, you have some games that are vastly shorter than others. So you can't just have like a unanimous, 5 hours or whatnot. I think that'll be the trickiest part for them, but they definitely need to just make sure it sticks to every game that's going to come so that, every game really gets that trial across the board. And then yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be great. I think it's also a big thing to differentiate here is that it's a trial of the full game and not a demo. Um, which a lot of people didn't understand, which I have for a long time, is that the problem that was stated with demos is that they're carving out a different portion of the game, or oftentimes creating unique portions of the game that don't even exist just to create a demo. And with the trial, they no longer have to do that. The game they could just determine, 30 minutes or, an hour or, the first 3 chapters or, stuff like that. However, they kind of want to do it. I don't know what the limitation will be until we really see what they're going to do with it. But I think it's great. It's going to give a lot of people who are unsure, because I feel like there's a lot of people in the community who really are on the fence with a lot of games, and their taste isn't as refined as my own. So they often need to try stuff, which I hear a lot with people with Game Pass. They don't call it that, they don't refer to it that way, but you always hear that I would have never bought this game, or I would have never even tried this type of game. So yeah, I think it's going to play an important role for people that need that in the occasional game where, even as many games as I've played over 30 plus years, that occasionally that game comes out and I'm like, man, what is this? And that trial is going to give us that the ability to do so. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
Are the trials going to be free?
Yeah. The trial is going to be free. You're allowed to play for 10 hours, I think.
It's 5
or
to
6 hours, and I'm very interested in seeing how they're gonna refine it, because if you heard the story about the Steam game that was 1 hour or 2 hour long or something, and people would play it and finish it and refund their money back, because Steam have money back what's called?
Talk about the refund policy?
Yeah, refund policy. Yeah, you heard of the game, right?
No, I haven't heard of the game, but I know what you're talking about, because they got like a 24-hour refund policy.
Yeah, exactly. Like they literally bought a 1 hour or 2 hour game. It's a small indie game. They played it, finished it, even reviewed it, gave it a great score, but still refunded their money back. Yeah.
Oh, Steam's policy is, as long as you play under 2 hours, it's a no questions asked refund policy.
Exactly, and that's a risk that you work with, which is why, in my opinion, they need to do it the way you got 2 games that did it well. You got Dragon Quest Builders 2. That demo is the first section of the game, and you get to feel almost how it feels before it changes, in the sense of you get different ability, different stuff and stuff like that, but at least you get the gist of the game. That demo is almost 7 hours long. I'm not joking. I'm genuinely not joking. One of the best demo I've ever played. And the other game is they had Watchdog Legion, and that game also allowed you the ability to play the very first section of the game. That's literally a long section of the game, no question asked, and when you kill that boss, it locked you out. You're not allowed to continue. You just need to move. You need either buy the game or you can free roam, and that's about it. And yeah, that's genuinely a great idea from PlayStation. I've always been an advocate for PlayStation to not only bring demos, but also bring more demos, because so many games could use demos, like Demon Souls. could use a demo for people to experience. You have Returnal is definitely a game that would increase itself by demos. With demos, like so many games, you name it, with demo you're gonna get better because, in my opinion, and Optimus Code says that's not true, but still my opinion, and I can be wrong. A demo, in my opinion, means you're confident in your game. The lack of demos means you're not confident in your game. That's just my opinion. I am aware it's a lot of work to create a demo, but in my opinion, we really need demos because not if some of us can buy every game that comes out, but most of us can't. We buy what we can. And then you got the food debate, which I'm not gonna focus on right now. Um, Morgana, what's your opinion about that?
I think it's really great. The only negative thing that I've seen so far is that unfortunately the timer starts. The 5 to 6 hour timer starts as soon as you click download.
Yeah, that's
So if you
genuinely a
don't have
stupid idea. I have absolutely no
Yeah.
idea how PlayStation didn't think of fixing that, but continue.
Yeah, so it's like if you don't have a great internet connection, some people, 5 or 6 hours is how long it takes them to download an average size game. So that kind of sucks. But other than that, I really think it's great. I do agree. We used to have this back in the PS3 era where we could demo games, and I'm glad PlayStation's bringing it back. Because, like you said, some of us can afford to buy all these games, and others can't, and that's the really, one main, problem with this gen and getting so expensive. People are really only buying games that they for sure know that they're gonna like, and they could be possibly missing out on some great games because they don't want to pay that $60 or $70 because they don't know how it is, if they'll like it, all these different factors. And so a demo would be great. I know a lot of publishers are against demos just because they think it it negatively affects sales.
It does.
But
But that's
yeah,
on them. Then you're
true.
gonna get exposed if your game is not good enough. If your game is
I could,
riddled with glitches and bugs, that's on you
yeah, I
then.
could understand if some games, because some games take a minute to pick up. If it took you, I don't know, 3 hours to download the game and you only had 3 hours to play it, but it didn't catch your interest in the first 3 hours, but maybe it would have if you stuck with it longer. I can understand publishers being like, the game doesn't really pick up until hour 5, and then people are going to judge it. So no, I don't really want to do a demo. But I think overall, a demo is a good idea, and at least PlayStation's trying to, get that out there and allow people, maybe this, like I said, will help justify that or ease people's mind with the increase, the $10 increase to
Yeah,
$70.
plus Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk brought
Oh
this stuff
yeah.
out too.
Do you think CD Projekt Red would have allowed a demo for that game?
Probably
No.
not.
No, absolutely not.
It's a hard no.
They'd be like, no, it's fine. Trust us. You
Yeah.
don't need a demo. You'll love this game. But yeah, maybe it'll help prevent any of the another cyberpunk catastrophe. So if it can do some good, I'm all for it. So yeah.
I think real quick, I think something recent that was a good example of how this is, I think what the separation between the trial and the demo is a really good example is because they no longer have to cut out, like I said, that weird area of the game and try to design something around it, because a good example of this that I've seen from a ton of people in the community, especially on Twitter, they were saying how they didn't really vibe with the demo for Tales of Arise. And there was a real specific take that came across mine, and then they were like, they quoted themselves and were like, okay, I was wrong. I lied. This game is freaking amazing. I'm glad I bought it. I love it to death. I'm going to play it forever. Like, and it was just like a complete 180, you know? So they were like, man, the demo, and I was the same way. Like, I knew I was going to love the game. I had already pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition. I didn't even care. Like, I know how JRPGs are because that's my number one genre. So, and I know how the Tales games are. So I have all this experience going forward. So I understand what I'm getting into attempting a demo for this game. Like, it was really just, let me test out the combat. Let me do a combo or two. And I literally cut it off because I was like, that's not how you get into those games. So that's why I said I definitely think the trial will be better because personally, the way the game itself starts off, I think is way better than the demo. And it really sets up the game well, starting off and, you know, introducing the mechanics and stuff to use. So that's another reason why I think that the trial difference is going to be way better for them. So companies can stop trying to design these separate experiences that could, like you said, ultimately give you a different impression than if you just played the game itself, which I think is going to be a big benefit to a lot of them.
Are the trials available once the game is released out to the world? Or
okay, so I'm gonna touch upon that. As of right now, only Sackboy Adventure and Death Stranding is having a trial, but PlayStation want to know if you guys are interested, and the only way you can let PlayStation know is by participate in it. So even so, I'm gonna.
Okay, well that'd be good because Morgana go put like, yeah, I'm gonna join it, but I wish these times didn't start, you know, as soon as I download it.
Yeah, that they need to iron out. That's absolutely not acceptable for one simple reason.
Yeah, you gotta put that in feedback though. You know?
Yeah,
I'm sure you know.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, like you push start and it says trial has ended.
Yeah, like that messed.
Heartbroken you.
That messed up.
Shit.
That messed up on so many different levels.
I mean, they could do it like how EA does it. I mean, like they got when you EA play it, then you want to try the game out. The time doesn't start until you log into the game. So
yeah, I don't think it'll start until you actually play because that would be mad dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really good example for me personally because I don't really like platformers in general, with very few exceptions. So one of the games that I skipped, despite everybody going crazy about it when they do finally play it, was Littlebigplanet, the new one. So or Sackboy's Adventure.
Sackboy Adventure,
So yeah, so I skipped it. Then, well, mainly just because I have so much to play. So it's like in a world where I've got basically games that are 9.5s on my plate every day. You know, if you're gonna get in this line, you got to be absolutely fire. So, you know, if you're already on the lower end of my spectrum, because I don't particularly like that genre, you know, it's automatically going to get cut down. Not because it's a bad game, because there's an objective thing with that. And this is what I always explain to people: just because I don't like the genre doesn't mean I can't objectively tell it's a good game. I can tell it's a good game. Just like the last Mario, I know is a good game, but I played it for about 45 minutes and I was bored to death because I know I've just come to a point where certain games, if they lack a specific amount of complexity, and like strategy, I get bored really fast. That's just how I am. And then it's reversed for some people. They're like, oh, you know, they see a game with too many menus and they're like, oh my God, I got to get away from this. I don't want any parts of this. So yeah, I think it's going to work out great for me personally. And I'm definitely going to try Sackboy's Adventure via the trial and see how I really feel.
I genuinely recommend you to play Sackboy Adventure. I know you don't love platformers, but the fluidity of this game also. You can play it with a girlfriend. So that's an extra plus. Oh, I'm not sure if you can play it because of trials, but yeah, this game is some of the best platformers I've ever played. But yeah, go ahead, Kay.
I think it was.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, I'm right with you on platformers. When Sackboy Big Adventure was announced, I was not interested in it at all because, like you, it was a platformer. But I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I honestly wanted a game that I could play with her, couch co-op. And I saw Sackboy, and I was like, well, I'm not a huge platformer, but it's a game that I could play with my daughter. And I went ahead and grabbed it, and me and my brother, my daughter, we sat down and we played it, and I ended up falling absolutely in love with the game. And we had an absolute blast. And then It Takes Two has a lot of platforming as well. And like once again, it was co-op, and I played that with a family member and had an absolute blast and fell in love with that game too.
How you been?
Yeah, the Rec is here. He's gonna join. Oh, he's already in. Introduce yourself, what you've been playing, and what's your opinion on Bluepoint acquisition, which game you want them to make, and then your opinion on the PlayStation trials. Go ahead, Derek. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, y'all wait for me?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're the one that
sorry,
just came in. Introduce yourself, opinion on Bluepoint acquisition, your opinion on what games they should make, remake, and a new IP, and we go from there. Go ahead.
My name is Derek. I've been a gamer since the '90s. But I'm always in the gaming space. Just don't be. I don't be saying too much, but I wanted to talk about a lot of things. So I'm happy that they acquired these studios. I'm happy that I don't expect too much. I expect new games, new IPs or whatever. I don't mind the old, remasters or whatever. Because if they do a remaster, I love Legend of Dragoon. I would love to see that. I would love to see, I don't know, I like a lot of games. My preference is everywhere. So I really don't know what really I want. I just know that if it's a good game, I'll play it. I play RPGs mostly, and so, but it's at the top where action RPGs and whatever. My favorite game is actually Metal Gear, so I love stealth games as well. And so,
if you would choose between Metal Gear remake or Legend of Dragoon remake,
just a remake. I have to start from fresh. And
I said between the two, though, which one would you pick if you had to make a choice? Though?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a hard decision. It's a hard decision, man. I take a remake.
Well, no, not that you wouldn't take a remake. He's saying between the two, though, between Dragoon and between Metal Gear. Oh, because they could only make one. So
yeah, go on and make one. Oh shit, man, my mind's not focused right now. But hold on. Let me get my mind together. Okay, so I'll take a Metal Gear. I take a Metal Gear.
Boo!
Because I know they only had one of Dragoon, and I still love that game to this day. I beat it more than 3 times. But other than that, Metal Gear, man, I played them all, except for the ones Konami made or whatever, not Kojima ones.
Oh, the weird one at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't count that.
Yeah, we don't count that. It's cool.
Which one are you talking about?
Like Metal Gear, right? I played a lot of it, except the ones that not made. I mean to say not made by Kojima, because Kojima made the ones that we the main line ones, the main storylines. Even though Portable Ops was the perfect one, that's which is not canon, but I still think that should be part of it because I played that one too. But other than that, I would love a Metal Gear and a Metal Gear 2 remake. I think they should do that.
I gotta say, it's pretty funny after all these years hearing all the smoke everybody had for Metal Gear Solid 2, and now everybody actually, there's all these people I know now that love Metal Gear Solid 2 after, the whole thing with not playing Snake completely through.
I still feel the same way. I still feel the same way about that.
Yeah,
people was big mad. So,
because I remember playing that game for the first time, I was like, all right, man, when am I gonna get to Snake to play a Snake and shit? It just never happened. It just never happened.
Yeah.
But you run into him though, in the game. But
yeah,
that was highly upsetting.
Zarek, what would you rather if they would make a new IP? What do you want them to make?
What type of genre?
I think an action adventure. I take a action adventure, man. Something unique, something that's never done before.
Okay, so you prefer the experimental route. They do something brand new.
Is that smart? Because they are known for the remakes. All eyes are gonna be on them. Would you not play it safe at first?
Yeah, hold on.
What do you think, Zarek?
Hold on just a second.
Yeah, I thought so. You're busy. He is having a technical difficulty issue, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hear it from the audio. Okay. We're gonna move to the next topic, and when you come back, we're gonna revisit the topic. I'm sorry, guys, that we do it like this. Oh, Coffee here. Hey, anyway, I can invite Coffee to join. Let me see. Coffee,
He might just be here listening, so.
yeah, he's always busy, so he's Daddy Coffee.
Yo.
So I'm curious if I can have him join in or not. Cause yeah, go ahead, Zarek.
Okay, so what was the question?
The question is, if you would have them to make a new IP with J.R. creating, what I said was, would you rather not have them play it safe because they are known for the remakes? So if they're gonna go full blown experimental, all eyes are gonna be on them. Is that not too much pressure?
Okay, well, since there's the new IP, well, I just trust them.
I think the ref is having issues.
You're good, man. Let's go. We can move on to the
Yeah,
next
we're gonna
question.
definitely move on, and yeah, Derek, you genuinely need to work on your issues, or connection issues. It could be the final topic. We still got a lot of time. Okay, so you know, guys, I always keep it 100. I'm not here to bullshit anyone, and even if the topic is not going to make is going to make you uncomfortable, I gotta go in. So for the second time in the row, Square Enix have shit the bed. What I mean by that, at E3 event was one of the worst E3 showcase, and now with Tokyo Game Show, you would expect them, a Japanese company, to come in with a freaking home run. Yet they show you the exact same trailer for Spoken. Like, what you're doing? Like, I don't understand the mentality of uh, um, companies to showcase stuff that we already seen before. We need to move on from that. Like, do companies genuinely think that we don't look at trailers from different company? Like, if Microsoft shows something, do PlayStation executive really think that PlayStation fans are not gonna look at Microsoft trailer if the game is multiplat and be excited about it? Do they really need to showcase it on a PlayStation stage? And the same can be said for region. Region. If Square Enix showcased that Forspoken trailer in English, do they really think they need to showcase that same exact trailer, but this time in Japanese? It's like, I don't understand. Uh, my issue is, why not mix it up? Why not show additional gameplay, different version of trailer, so we can at least have something to look out for? Also, another thing is, are we gamers the blame for that? What I mean by that, we expect developers to come in at Tokyo Game Show, E3, and stuff like that. We expect them every single time they come to bring their A games. Yet they got hit with COVID. We have absolutely no idea how bad COVID have been on them. And when they show up, most of the time they have nothing to show. So, should game events be abolished instead of every year, every 2 years, or remove a few events and call it a day? Like, no more Gamescom is no more. What's called other event is no more. Have it E3 and Tokyo Game Show, for example. At least give developers the time to build something up before they can showcase it, and not have them scramble to showcase stuff that they don't even have. That's my biggest issue. I don't know, it really feels they're not prepared, and it's shown. What do you guys think? I know it's not going to be a great topic to talk about, because we all care about game events, but this needs to be talking about. Nate, I'll start with you. You're the wise one.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a twofold factor. The key point to what you said is that was your expectation for Square, when I mean, we were clearly aware of the time, how short the time was between PlayStation's event, their recent event, and the Tokyo Game Show, which in game development time or any sort of preparation time for showcasing a game, I mean, that's extremely short. So, I mean, I really didn't expect anything else from them. In that regard, I didn't think anything else would be really ready. The only thing I particularly thought might have been a thing was Final Fantasy 16, potentially seeing more of that, or an extension of that. But again, that's just my expectation. So yeah, I mean, I think it, like I said, when I say it's twofold, I think it's guilty on our part to expect something, and that's why they always say, temper your expectations, because if you're expecting little to nothing and genuinely just surprised with whatever you get, you'll be fine. But if you are anticipating they're going to go crazy, specifically because it's a Japanese event, I mean, I also knew it was most likely not going to happen. There's just too much going on for them. Like you said, still COVID is still a very real thing. So not just hitting, but it's still current. So I think even without it, I still think that's just an extremely short time. So I didn't expect anything else. But I think the key factor to take away from something like the Tokyo Game Show, when you said like, should it be abolished? Definitely not. I mean, there's a lot of people that go there firsthand and get to see these games for the first time, and they still get to have this, these events, and like you said, just have it in Japanese for them, which is important for them. So I mean, I think what they did was fine. They didn't blow anyone away, but I mean, you can't have it all the time. But it gave a chance for a lot of other people, or game developers, to showcase the other games that they had on hand. So Tokyo Game Show, we of course we want the bangers, as everyone likes to say nowadays. But there's so much more to see. And I think the Tokyo Game Show gave a lot of light to a lot of indie developers and lesser known developers to really showcase their games and what's going on with them. So I think it still served its purpose. And I think it was a great show overall. But yeah, I mean, we definitely cannot always expect, this constant showcasing of these bigger AAA games, because I mean, for one, you don't want to see everything. We definitely don't want to get to a point where we feel like most people feel with the movie trailers nowadays. And how many times have you gone, and you're like, oh man, all the good parts were in the trailer,
Or the whole movie was the trailer.
Yeah, it was the trailer. And I personally experienced that recently. And I know a lot of people have seen Snake Eyes recently, but I waited for like 5 parts to happen in this movie, and they were all in the trailer. I'm not going to hold you. Like, I was like, that's really it though? Like, the movie was okay. Don't get me wrong. But like the parts where it was like, oh snap. Like, all of that was literally in the trailer. And I was mad. And I was like, I would have been real mad if I'd have like really went to the theaters to see this. But yeah, like stuff like that you just don't want with games, and it is harder because games are a lot bigger. But I think they're just trying to prevent doing that to us for games, because I've seen a lot of people complain about that as well, where they're like, oh man, they keep showing this game, they're gonna show us way too much, and that as well. So I think it's a balance, and it's hard to say when's too much and when's not enough.
So then let me give you an example. I understand where you went with, but you went a little bit too extreme with it for one simple reason. What I was asking for is just free roaming, show us the parkour that they were talking about, and show us a little bit of an early combat. I'm not expecting end game level of combat, nor do I want it. Just 5 minutes. Like, you know how PlayStation did it with Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay, with God of War gameplay, something like that. That's early. That's after the introduction of the story, so you just get to feel how the gameplay is. And I'm curious, am I the only one that expected too much from them? Go ahead.
I expected to see that, just not yet. I think the game is still not in a state where they are personally ready to show it exactly that way. So as much as I want, like you said, that Horizon Zero Dawn reveal, I know every game is also not going to show that way for one reason or another. So yeah, I want it, but I mean, when it's ready, it'll be ready. But Square is definitely a company where they're not going to show something until they feel it's fully ready. And if you've seen anything from their dev teams, they're pretty heavy on the perfectionist side as far as like to show stuff. So they're definitely going to hold their cards closer than anyone else. I mean, I know Nomura specifically, people are constantly begging for like the 4 or 5 projects this man is working on, but he's always adamant, like, I'm just not going to show it until I feel it's perfect. And, the few times where he's shown it, where he felt like it was slightly too soon, he's felt really guilty about that, which I think you spoke on it at one point, which is how he felt about Versus. People still are like, dang, what's up with Versus? Like, how come that didn't come out the way I wanted? And that was a good example of them showing something too soon and then having to reel it all the way back in because they went a different route. So I think that's why they're super careful about that.
Gotcha. But just to be fair, this is not only about Square. Square was just an example. We've seen it with other companies not having anything to showcase, but they still show up. And that's my biggest issue, which is why I was very okay with when PlayStation said we're gonna stop be at events and we're gonna do our own events when we have something to show. Kay, what's your opinion on this one?
I do think that a lot of games do show too much too early on. And then as far as is it the gamer's fault that they do that? I would say, is it our fault or is it the stockholders putting pressure on them? But ultimately, it does come down to the decision of the people in management that do make these decision calls. Like you saw, like in a Cyberpunk, they forced the studio to put that game out way too early.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that would be that would be my opinion. So that's something that I think we should think about is it really, like, I do think that we do put a certain amount of pressure on them, but is it enough to actually make them decide to make the call to put the game out earlier than they should? Or can we also put some blame on the stockholders who are trying to make money off these companies?
Gotcha. Morgan. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, but I mean, I agree with the Nate and K. I personally wasn't really expecting much. Usually, when it comes to like that particular showcase, I don't really expect too much. I don't even watch it. I usually just wait on Twitter or YouTube to kind of get the wrap up like of what happened. But yeah, sometimes I just think that publishers do kind of just expose too much of their game too soon, and it does kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth when they do that. But then again, there's the other side of the coin where they make you wait forever for an update for her game, and then that's just even worse. So, I mean, Square's one of those publishers that, like, they know they got people on the hook, and they use that to, kind of just linger and wait until they have to show something to show something. But yeah, the fact that that was only a Forspoken trailer, I was just like, yeah, I figured, like, I was hoping in the back of my mind maybe something about Final Fantasy 16. I was like, at the Tokyo, no, not gonna happen. But yeah, I can't say I was disappointed. It was, like I said, it was to be expected. I wasn't expecting much, but yeah, that's really all I got to say about that.
Gotcha. Zarek, are you finally able to have a conversation or no? Yeah, he's muted. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I can say that it is the financial side of things that these guys wanted them to pull out the game real quick. You got the higher ups up there too that just they just don't care about the game, but they care about the money being pulled in. And so
Right.
and it messes up the developers, because they're passionate about their work, and over the years you see bugs and more bugs in games and glitches and stuff. So I was like, bro, why did they take that time? You make more money if you make up quality games. But these guys, they don't want to do that because they think, all right, they look at the business side of things instead of the quality side of things. And that's what That's why I'd be like, man, I can see the trailer, I can see it, but what makes me want to buy the game? That's the question, you know. What makes me want to buy this game? If it's gonna be better or for what I'm seeing, or it's gonna be downgrade, you know. And so I stay watching a certain game. I don't watch all of them. I just stay watching them to see what they do, and I don't say nothing. I was like, this is not the game I want. Like Deathloop, I didn't care for picking it up. I didn't care for pre-order it. But I don't have a PS5, so I still wouldn't pick it up. You know, if it's Last of Us or whatever, I'll pick it up. You know, but just like Horizon, you know, I see Horizon. I was like, yo, this game looks like it's better than the first one. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. So I went pre-order it. So, you know, it just they had to hit the right crowd, right? You know, they have to push a certain how can I say it in the simplest way? They have to pull out real quality work, you know, for us to buy their games, you know. And so investors go keep pulling in, hey, oh man, oh, you do this right, you do right, we'll pay you more. But it's like, man, investors are a problem. They really are, you know. If they don't do it, if these companies keep going for the investors and stuff. And so, man, I just hope it gets better. You know, I just hope it does, bro.
I just want to let you to correct you on one thing. It's the what's called the investors and the publishers that are on the neck of the developers to hurry it up and release games unfinished and stuff like that. That's not on the developers, in my opinion. They don't have say in the matter. If you're publisher,
I was gonna point something out.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because I noticed a lot of people keep mentioning this, so I'm gonna point something out. When you said, "Were we to blame?" So I'm gonna say that we are definitely to blame in this regard. So, because I was one of the people that asked for it, but I also have a different understanding of game development than a lot of other people do. And I knew the game was very early. So one thing that happened a lot, not the quality that the game came out in on the other systems, that's a whole nother thing. But a lot of the missing features from the early demo for Cyberpunk, they did not want to show us because the game was so early in development that a lot of things were subject to change, which everyone that saw that video prior to them allowing the public to see it understood that. So that was a really good example of the difference that journalists have certain expectations versus the public. So the public saw a bunch of little things in that original Cyberpunk demo, and why isn't this here? Why isn't that there? Why is not that? He should walk like this. Why is he walking like that? And that's why we don't ever get to see games super early in that regard, because a lot of people cannot make the distinction or the separation from a game that is so early in development that when they say subject to change, they mean that. Like, people don't I know it said it about 50 times in that original 54-minute trailer. Trust me, I watched it about 150 times. So I was on it. Like, this game was everything for me. And a lot of people to this day still don't understand why wall running is not in the game. It was simply removed.
Yeah.
Which they stated. So, and a lot of people didn't even pay attention to that, and they immediately were like, where's the wall running? The day the game came out, and it's like, it was removed. Have you been paying attention? But a lot of people just don't understand, and that's a reason why, personally, going forward, is a big reason why we'll see less of games in an earlier state, because no one wants to make that level of understanding. They understand that level of understanding is not going to come from the public. What you show is what they expect. So I think when we did get to see Horizon Zero Dawn, I think that's the perfect blend. I mean, that game clearly had a beautiful development cycle. And when they finally showcased it, that's the dream. for everybody to gasp in wonderment, that holy shit, this is gameplay, this is it, and that I think that's the perfect blend. But also depending on when your game is, they got to generate some interest as well. So when
Yeah.
I think it's a delicate balance of when to show the game.
About that, I want to say one thing, and I just found out about this. CGI trailers were never meant for us. They were meant for people to see, hey, this is what we're working on. If you want to join, come join us.
Oh, you're referring to that recent comment?
Yeah.
When they said, why do they show it so early?
Eye-opener for me. Yeah, that's why developers that's why developers always show their stuff early. They want to showcase what they're working on, so that people come join them and help them. And in my
that makes complete sense.
In my opinion, that need its own space. What I mean by that is, be honest. Okay. I'm gonna give an example. Yeah. Cyberpunk 77 trailer. Very first. Let's go with Final Fantasy 13 versus reveal trailer CGI. At the end, put very early in development. What's called project subject to change, and you will know more when we got more information to share. Something like that. Here, you didn't give date, you didn't give time, you didn't promise anything, you just showcase something, and you put also at the end, this is for developers who are interested, this is what we're making, if you want to just come join. That's flat out honesty. You do that, I don't think anyone has the right to then complain about, hey, why this game changed? Hey, why is this CGI showcase so long? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I just think we have a better understanding a lot of the times than the general public that has a discussion about this stuff, which is, like I was saying, I mean, the amount of people that I say this as someone who had to have this conversation about 100 times with people, explaining why certain things were missing from the original showcase. And that was the other problem, was it was literally only ever meant to be shown to journalists because that understanding was already given, even though it says subject to change. It says it. I can't even, if you should go back and watch it. Like I said, it's like 54 minutes long specifically, but it says subject to change throughout the entire presentation, written on the screen and verbally.
And is it a small letter or big letter?
It's huge.
Oh yeah, no, that's an L on the consumer stem.
Exactly. So that's why I was saying, I think for future reference, we will just not get to see stuff early on, in it, like at least that early in that regard, because of how much games do change in their development cycle. Okay. I was grateful to them to show me that, because I still loved and enjoyed that, and I still personally love the game. I was lucky enough to play it on an RTX 3080 equipped PC, so I got to experience the game in a way that I was happy with, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, that's not a discussion of the performance, mind you, of what it performed like on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox, but that's a whole nother thing, because personally my understanding of what it took to run that game, I could have already told you it was going to be a problem. They personally should have canceled it on last generation hardware.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever played a game with volumetric smoke and a bunch of other stuff that game has going on literally everywhere, volumetric smoke to this day is one of the single hardest things to generate. If you even see it in racing games, drifting specifically. If everyone in here knows what drifting is, when you're sliding the car sideways and all the smoke comes up. If you've seen drifting happen for real in real life, like the competition D1 drifting, there is so much smoke that they can smoke out like the entire crowd. Like to generate that in a game, we still haven't gotten to that point. The smoke will often like dissipate just slightly away from the car, and it still won't generate a lot of it because that's one of the hardest things to do. Well, in Cyberpunk specifically, there are several instances in the city where volumetric smoke to that degree is generating all around you, as well as the verticality in this city that's happening all the time, and all this stuff is being generated around you. And this is where I was saying, like, the ambitious factor with it. I think everybody would have got a much, much better game if they would have just fully committed to next gen hardware and PC. In that particular regard. So that was another thing of showing something too early and then not realizing that they should have pulled that commitment to the older hardware in order to give us a better experience. And I think they would have done better there. But to your point, in that case, I think shareholders and the management were extremely guilty because they were definitely the ones that were like, nah, we got to put this out. There's too many potential buyers. And that was definitely on them.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's definitely case by case basis. And I think we all seen that. So yeah, I mean, I think in that regard, yeah, like to what you said that can we expect too much sometimes? Of course. But sometimes you expect too little and you get surprised. So I don't think there's ever going to be any perfect balance. I wish there was, and I wish everyone got to perfectly showcase their game the way that Horizon Zero Dawn did, but I mean, in reality, that was the perfect crime, man. It's hard to get that reveal.
Yeah.
That reveal still gives me goosebumps. So
you nailed it on the head. Bryce, what's your opinion on it?
Me, I don't suspect anything small. I don't suspect anything big. I take what they give to me, and I just make my observation on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all grew up looking at back of boxes with images of the games the way they looked and decide if you wanted to get it from there. So coming from that time, man, I mean, if I see it, if I like it, I get it automatically. And you said Forsaken, right?
Forspoken.
Forspoken.
Oh yeah, Forspoken, my bad.
Nah,
I know I said Forsaken.
Nah, don't worry. I always made that mistake beforehand. Forsaken is way easier to say than Forspoken.
Right. After seeing the trailer from the PlayStation the showcase, I saw enough. I don't expect to see any more of it. I don't want to see no more of it because I'm ready to go ahead and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that with every game.
Yeah.
I mean, just different people, man. They're all different. They like what to do. I'm not gonna, say nothing about that. But that's just how I am about it. But I suspect to see, like, if there's a CGI trailer, I suspect to see something from there. Kenna, I know they showed Kenna. I was sold on it right away with the little gameplay they showed. I didn't even watch that 20-minute gameplay they had of it. So I don't know, man. I'm very observated, or my bad. Sorry, I am very observant of the games when they show them, man. Or I'll go back and watch them. Project Eve, I'm already sold on that game. I seen enough. I don't need to see no more of that one.
Yep, I'm in the same boat with you. I'm like, I already seen enough. Like, I don't even just let me know when it's coming out. Like,
right.
You already showed me like Devil May Cry, female in this crazy jumpsuit going ham. Like, just
right,
let me know
gore, blood. I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah,
latex, fucking. Oh no, I'm going too far in that one.
I think that's a good example though, because it's like, the game has clearly got a little ways to go. We're probably going to see it again, but unless they're going to show us a different take on the gameplay, like we don't want to spoil anymore. Like, don't spoil us anymore. You
This
know,
is why I am okay with showing more gameplay. Just show something mundane. Don't show us story stuff. Don't show us amazing skill stuff. Just show us the basic stuff that we be doing most of the time. Show that, and you're literally giving nothing away and still showing us something to be excited about. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
To me, yeah, with them showing Joe in The Last of Us 2, I think that they should have never did that. They should have kept that.
Yeah, they definitely
hid it and put it away and
yeah.
I think they just knew people would automatically assume he was dead if they didn't show. I guess they were trying to.
But that's a good thing, though. Let them assume about
now,
it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Almost 99% of the people that I've seen called it when the trailer showcased Ellie and her rage, and we'd never seen Joe.
Yep.
Like,
I was like, oh, he did.
They literally called it. This is The Last of Us. This is not some random game that people play. Like, I called it. I knew, like, you're not gonna have. If Dina, Ellie's girlfriend, was dead, and you're not gonna see Ellie rage like this, in my opinion. But
I'm gonna say for a moment though, because I really did love The Last of Us 2. I'm gonna say something about their trailers, because they honestly, I hate their trailers. Their trailers were terrible for that game. Absolutely terrible. I hated Dina before the game came out. I was like, who the fuck is this bitch?
You hated Dina? Why?
I didn't know. I didn't like her character. I was like, who is she? She's so random. Y'all just showing her kissing this random chick. I don't know who this is. I don't know who you like. I was so upset beforehand, and then when I actually played the game, I was like, oh, okay, you kind of dope.
She is dope.
Like, yeah, she was hella dope. But I was like, the trailer was just like super basic. So I was like, in the way they just kept like egging certain things on, and I was like, y'all about to get on my nerves. Like, y'all just that annoying. And then it was like the game itself was wonderful.
Wonderful, fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a really good example when marketing just got on my nerves. Like,
one thing that did that with me is Kingdom Hearts 3. They literally showcased you every single skill, every single word. The only word that they didn't showcase was the final word.
Oh, so they showed like everything.
They showed you everything. Every single word, every single skill, every single weapon. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, I swear I couldn't believe it. When I was playing the game, I was like, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this. And
I did think that they were showing that game a lot, though. I was like, man, this looks like a lot of gameplay.
Like, but the problem is they didn't show you mundane gameplay. They spoiled you on weapons. They spoiled you on places you're gonna visit. Like, you can literally watch the entire trailer and get almost 90% of the game.
That's crazy.
That's genuinely crazy. And that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for.
All I needed to see was San Francisco personally, and I was already good to go.
Yeah,
because I love Big Hero 6. So
I still need to play the DLC. I'm slacking on that. I still need to buy it, but I'm still thinking if I'm gonna buy it or not. I'm debating with myself. Let me guess. Who have not gone yet? I think you guys all are dead, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're all
okay. We still got 10 minutes, but of a minute. If we go over time, do you guys mind or what?
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay.
I'm chill.
Because I want to cover this topic, and for chat, normally I have put a time limit between 2 hours and 3 hours, depend on the conversation. And I've seen this tweet, and we got a few female gamers in our panel member, and I'm very curious about their opinion. So this lady, I don't know her, she put out a tweet. One of the worst take in 2021. Opinion: all video games boss fights should have the option to skip them. Who wanna eat her alive right now? Go ahead and eat.
All video game bosses should be skippable?
Yep.
What?
Yeah,
One person at a
She
one
wants
person at a time. And Nate, go ahead.
Bruh. I don't even know where to begin with that take. Like, I feel like at that point, why don't you just pull it up on YouTube? Because you try not to play. Like I feel like I can't even. That's a terrible take. Like, you want to skip what is essentially a part of the game for whatever reason. I'm
Okay, I'm
guessing.
gonna explain her reason. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go
be
ahead.
fair with her. As much as I understand her reason, but at the same time I don't. So in her opinion is, you're stuck on one boss, but you wanna see the rest of the game. So why don't you skip such boss and come later back to it? Well, I
No.
understand her reasoning. The next boss is mostly harder than the first boss.
Exactly.
It's like it doesn't make any sense in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. And
So I'm gonna put this like this, because this comes up with Souls games and all this other stuff. Look, if you can't get past something, you know what I mean. Like, you're gonna have to work on it. Like, that's just what it is. And if like, you know what you're getting into, this is a choice thing, and this is something that you get into with, you know, the choices are the consequences of your actions based on what you bought. Like, I bought Demon Souls. I am not a Souls fan. I have beat Demon Souls. It's the only one I've ever bought, or the only one I've ever beaten, because I didn't like Dark Souls at all. I played 1, 2, and 3, didn't like any of them. But I bought Demon Souls, the remake, because it looked phenomenal. But I know what I'm getting into. I know what type of wherewithal and, you know, preparation I need to put in for me to feel comfortable facing the bosses that are in that game. I have to prepare in a specific way. I do not play that game the way I'm currently playing Kenna. Like, this is a part of being a gamer. You have to be able to make this assessment on your own. And if you are stuck on a boss or something, you're gonna have to learn. Or if the game offers it, drop the difficulty. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to play on whatever difficulty you need to. If there is a difficulty, then do that. But like, you can't not play the game. That's a factor in it. Like, and then, like you said, it's going to potentially get harder. For example, I bring up Kenna because we're all basically playing it.
Yep.
The bosses all gain more mechanics. They all do, you know, more extreme actions, grab you from further, are more agile. Like, the game literally evolves as you go, with harder and harder, even general enemies. So no, you shouldn't be able to skip it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not playing the game at that point. Like, it's part of gaming is passing these trials. You know, I know she specifically points out bosses, but that's like a puzzle that you have trouble with in a game. Skipping the puzzle, then you wouldn't have done it. Like, you're not playing the game at that point. You're asking to skip something that is an essential part of that experience, and I don't agree with that at all.
Facts.
Shout out to Cyber Dragon with the best comment. She need to play Kaina until she get to Sprout, then she can cry. Yeah, no, she need to play Kaina until she get to Kina, I think. No, that Smither. Then she gonna cry. That boss fight, if you're not ready for him, you're gonna be stuck for a long time. I beat her on my fourth try, but that's just because I was trying to understand her moves and I never took her seriously. But if you don't, or heck, she will be stuck. Like, imagine this, She fight Taro, she can't beat him, so she skip him. So far so good. Then she fights another boss in Kaina, which is the next a big boss, she gonna be stuck. What she gonna do? Skip him as well and move on to the final boss, and skip that as well and move on to the next boss and see what we doing here?
Well, that's the thing. Is it has no end. Like once you start skipping, like it has no end at that point. And like I mean, honestly, there's so many tools in place to help people at this point. Like phone a friend. Like I mean, if you really down that bad, phone a friend.
YouTube.
Like,
Look at YouTube.
yeah.
Look, you can genuinely almost beat a boss just because you learn from YouTube how to dodge, when to dodge, stuff, which best skill to use, stuff like that. But
Yeah, I mean, people definitely need to. I mean, that's part of being a gamer. That's the thing I think people forget sometimes. Like and this is something I brought up, by the way, the other day with the introduction of a lot of new people coming in. Yeah, some of those Candy Crush gamers are going to be curious about Kana or some of these other games that we play, and they come in, and I'm like, look, yeah, you got to go through the rite of passage like everybody else. You're going to have to learn how to handle these sticks, you know what I'm saying, that you were so excited to get a hold of, and you're going to have to learn. That's part of getting
Well,
there.
I agree with you. The problem, she is not a new gamer. She just...
Well, no, not that she's
No,
new, but the fact that
no.
like
The
if
problem,
you're stepping up to
the
something,
problem is
that's like
she
that.
is justifying her opinion, her worst take is by saying, I grew up with old school games where you had lives and not unlimited continues and stuff like that. So I have done that before. And now that I'm older, I don't have time to waste my time on get good. That's why I want to skip. I'm like,
I don't
So
have,
basically,
didn't you ain't got time to
wait,
play?
exactly, like, don't play it then, I'm sorry, but no, that's one of the worst take I've ever heard. Like, this is my take, and people feel to disagree. If I am playing a game that's not puzzly, I don't want to see any hard puzzle in the game. It's not. That's not what I'm playing. If I'm playing a game with JRPG and you give me this one of the worst puzzles in the game, that's almost like game breaking, because how I have no idea how I'm going to move past that puzzle, and I need to because I'm stuck. I had that one time with Final Fantasy IX with the candle puzzle. Some of the worst puzzle I've ever done back then. Annette, you already went. Morgan. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You can talk
keeping
like
you
my mom
Morgana.
calls me all the time too.
Bye.
It's all good. It's all good, bro. I have 2 words for her. Like literally, get good. Like, she's making all these excuses. Like, oh, I mean, I'm busy. Look. You're basically saying I want the game to play itself, and I don't want to participate. That's the point. Playing a game. She's literally like, I don't want to play it. I just want to get stuff. Like, that doesn't make sense. It honestly does not make sense to me. Why would you want to skip Pinnacle Park? Like, why'd you buy the game if you didn't want to play it? Like, it's like, it's just so confusing. It's like, because at that point, like Nate said, like, you might as well just watch it on YouTube. Like, if you don't have time to play the game and you can't participate, you can't fight the bosses, just watch another streamer stream the game. That way you can get an idea of the game and the story and whatever, and not have to deal with the bosses, and you can just do it on your own time. Because, like, that just, I don't know, it just irks me. That it doesn't make sense. And it makes me think about how some players will say that they want like an easy mode in Dark Souls games. And I'm just like, no, that's not the point of the game. The game wasn't made to be set on easy mode for you to play. And I want to play it. I'm like, well, then you got to get good at the game. You're gonna have to learn, adapt, learn how to fight the bosses, learn how to your character works, learn perks and all that stuff. And that's how you just have to get good. Like the developers aren't going to sit here and make an easy mode because that's not why this game was made. It's made to be a challenge. It's made to test you. So I don't know. That's just it. Just that's very. I saw that take earlier today. I had to keep scrolling because I was just like, I didn't even want to read anymore. I was just like, all right, anyway, moving on. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Before anyone else go, Morgan, check your DM on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
It kind of sounds like she's capping for that journalist mode.
Hey.
There you go. That's it.
But no, I mean, like, a lot of these games, when you're fighting enemies, like in Kana, it's all about just figuring out the best strategy to take down that enemy. And once you get it figured out, and you can time your dodges right, or the shield, get that going, then you're not going to have that. It's going to be beatable. You know, it's just finding that strategy to get through that enemy. And you know what? That's what I love about a lot of these games. I love games that make me think and experiment and push me to play different styles that I normally don't play. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I love Horizon Zero Dawn so much, because you have all these different machines that have different weaknesses that require different strategies to take down each individual machine. And it's the same thing with Kana. And I haven't played Dark Souls, but I've heard enough about it to where, you know, like it caters to a group of people. And if you're not that type of person, but you want to get into the game, then you're going to have to acclimate and figure it out. And, you know, and Dark Souls has a huge community where they want to help you. And you just need to go out there and find that help. Don't bitch out and whine and cry about it. If it's really such a pain, then don't play it. Then it's obviously not for you, and you're not enjoying it. Then if you're not enjoying it, then why play it?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, on everything you said.
That's my take.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you said.
Oh, hold on real quick. My girlfriend, she says, I was explaining to her while Kay was explaining her point. She said, this ain't elementary school. This ain't the No Child Left Behind act. You either learn how to play the game or it ain't for you.
Hey, if you want,
Like,
you can make a cameo join in. I have no issue with that.
You know what? She can go play some Leapfrog.
That's what it sounds like she needs to play. Get on her phone, download Leapfrog.
I don't know. You know what? I think Frogger might be too much for her.
Can someone just like stop the cars for me?
Can someone stop the cars for me? I ain't trying to do all that.
Can you make a clear path? I really don't want to have to strategize with the car. Just stop them.
My doctor's appointment starts in 5 minutes.
She wants a quadruple jump to just jump over the whole road.
Exactly.
That's pretty stupid for her to do all the kind of stuff like that. But
oh man,
you just gotta get good, bro.
It's like anything. Like if we start letting people skip that, you just gonna want to skip the rest of the game. You're this elite enemy showed up. I can't beat him. Yeah, can I skip him too? No, like then you don't want to play the game. Like at some point we get to the point where you're not playing the game.
No, that's for reviews, right? Reviewers, right? They want to review the game or whatever.
See, but how can you review the game if you're skipping bosses? How you gonna tell me
that's the
how good this game is? If you sit here, oh yeah, it was great, bro. It was a pickaxe. I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, it was just so
Dude,
easy.
some people are mental.
People
are mental.
Yeah.
I'm
like they can't handle it, though. They can't handle it.
I would trust a reviewer who told me they were skipping bosses. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I would trust
you know, I would like to say it's people like her that will change a genre.
Yep.
How certain games are made. Like for instance, like I'm a big horror fan. So for Resident Evil, to me, Resident Evil 7 wasn't even scary at all. And then they go and say that Resident Evil 7 was too scary. And then they dial it back for 8. And I was upset about that. Honestly, the scariest part was the dollhouse, and I loved it, and it was the scariest part of the game.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, cater into that, man. No.
And that's you said that's what happened to Fortnite. They people were mad at a certain weapon. We're gonna go ahead and nerf it. You know, just downgrade the whole power of the weapon. I'm like, bro, y'all just gotta get good, bro. Stop complaining about small stuff, man. That's why people try to dedicate to each person. Like, you can't dedicate to each person. You just have to get good with the game they got.
I'm saying, like, that's one thing I just wish developers would kind of just take the reins sometimes. Sometimes they listen too much to game, and they want to cater to everybody's needs, and you're not going to please everybody. At the end of the day, you just gotta go for whatever your vision is. Just do that.
People are genuinely entitled. They feel they are entitled.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and that brings me back to my point that I was saying earlier, is that the studio needs to make what they want to make.
Right.
And the people that are on that same level with them, that's where they're going to go, and that's the people that they need to bring in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, and I know Anate was talking about how a lot of JRPGs are splitting off from their traditional gameplay mechanics. You know, and for someone like him who's so hardcore into JRPGs, you know, he's not happy. He is the original foundation of that fan base. You know.
Hey, what's called? Race, what's your opinion?
To me, I don't know what game she was playing, but it sounds like she was probably playing one of those games where you got to do offside missions in order to get better and raise your player. So maybe that's why she was sucking so much. Cause I know she had to have it on easy if she's complaining like that. That's my opinion, but I don't know, man. Just move on if you can't play the game. I mean, that's what I do. Like Souls games, I don't touch them because I'm terrible at them.
Well, but you can't. This is really a battle of acceptance. Like, these people don't want to accept that something is not for them. Like, I had a conversation the other day because when we did the first podcast last week, I was at a race with my girlfriend. She ran a 75K race. Most people have no idea what that's like. She ran for over 10 hours, basically straight. Like, most people,
I don't know.
Well, exactly. Like, people are like, what? Excuse me?
I know. I could be like one of those people like, give me a bike, then I'll race her.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
people do that? That's a thing? I'm like, not only did people do that.
Voluntarily? What?
Yeah, voluntarily? Like, ain't nobody had her at gunpoint or nothing? But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. And then it's like, I told her that I discovered. So this is the thing, because a lot of people think video games are like this. They don't have this rite of passage or this thing you have to earn. You gotta get good. Like, that's not just a joke. Like, you have to earn your skill and get better. And some games you'll be naturally better at than you will at others. And this was her jam, running. And I told her, like, I've discovered so much personally about running, being at the event. I don't run, but I'll see other people of many different shapes, sizes, and fitness levels. And some of the people I think look the most in shape I've ever seen in my life. Like, there was a girl next to her when she was getting her energy drink for the race, and she was asking another runner, how do I not throw up at running a 15K race?
See,
well, no, but that's what I'm saying, though. It's like
part of the criteria. I can't, like,
it's crazy, right? But it's like, but I can tell you what happened, though. See, so when she was speaking to the person, she goes, well, I didn't know what to do, so I ate half a burrito for breakfast, and then I haven't eaten anything since. Yeah, exactly. So her whole balance was messed up. One of the first mistakes she did was she changed up her regimen. So you should already be training as if you're running, that race, so that you are not altering things the day of the race because your body is going to be in disarray. That's something you have to. That's the difficulty of racing like that at length. You have to take into consideration how you will feel. When did you eat? What did you eat? How does it affect your energy levels? If you down a 12, a 12 pack, what I'm saying, before you run a race, you probably gonna die. Exactly. Like, these are realities about these things, but people think this doesn't apply to video games because it's a game. Like, nah, I should just get a pass, or I should just get an easy mode or whatever. No, you should get whatever the developer gives you because that is the way the game is designed. And when it's not for you, like, I haven't played Sekiro yet. Like, I've seen some dope skills and stuff and crazy stuff, but I also seen people get stabbed in the back instantaneously. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
See, you're smart. You understand. Zarek, what's your opinion?
Oh, my opinion. Well, my opinion is that she's stupid.
This is such a badass panel.
Yeah, you're gonna get your time. So after Zarek.
Sorry. No, I'm gonna listen. Sorry, Direct. I just wanted to make that comment.
No, don't worry. Your time will come. I didn't forget about you. Go ahead, Zarek.
So, like I said, man, I played Demon Souls. I played Dark Souls. And I beat Demon Souls. I beat Dark Souls, right? Just one. I didn't beat 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. But I played Neo 1 and 2. I rather like Neo basically 2 better than 1, really. But other than that, man, it's like back in the day, right? It won't feel right to skip a boss, It doesn't feel right. It just...
Well, our experience would differ, right?
Right.
If you're like, yo, how did you get past that lightning slash when he's slinging across you and he hits you and it takes 3 seconds, and we can talk about that experience because we both did it.
Right.
I just pressed the A button.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's like...
I don't know. Some people are too entitled in this gaming street. Yeah. As I said before, Akira was going to be part of the panel member, but it started.
Sorry, I was late, guys.
Space. So now he's finally here.
Space about Final Fantasy. Sorry about that, guys.
Now you're passionate about your stuff. Just next time, remember when the podcast is Baka.
Man, you don't gotta yell at me. God damn.
No.
Okay.
It's better better late.
Yeah. That's why I have him on. Akira, I'm gonna run you through the topic, and I want your opinion. Also, panel member, if anyone is late and need to drop out, feel free to do so because I have time and I wanna have Akira's opinion on this topic. The first topic is Bluepoint. What's your opinion and what?
PlayStation wins. Like, no. I mean, dude. I actually, before I got here, like I said to the space, you know what? I'm scared of Karaba after all, because after how he went off against Game Hero, I don't want to get that. Like, like Karaba was real mad. But no. So Bluepoint. So yeah, I know it was a joke when I said PlayStation wins, but deep down I kind of mean that too, because Bluepoint is a phenomenal acquisition. It's a phenomenal get, in my opinion, and it's a long time coming. I think we're talking about 11 years, based on what the founder of Bluepoint said in the tweet. It's been 11 years, a long time coming. It's a long relationship that they built, and they actually felt like a family. You know what I mean? Which is why I was very happy about that, and I'm gonna get my Legend of Dragoon remake someday. Fingers crossed. and Bluepoint is gonna make their original content. We're gonna see what they're absolutely made of this time. First party support, most likely AAA. And I'm happy for them because it also means stability for such a talented studio. Because technically they were indie before, right? And when it comes to indies, there could be some issues with stability sometimes, which is why with Bluepoint, I'm so happy that Sony are gonna give them that stability with actually great people as well to work with, the PlayStation family, and other PlayStation studios. So yeah, again, a smart acquisition, like how Sony has been doing. Always smart acquisitions with long-time relationships. It's organic. I think that's what I'm calling it, right? Organic growth.
Yeah.
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 Organic.
And I'm gonna before I go on, like shout out to Morgan. It's absolutely savage. It's a savage, savage Morgan. So,
What's called? And I'm pretty sure you're gonna say Metal Gear Solid 1, so I'm gonna...
no, bro. It's
Legend of Dragoon?
Remake?
Okay,
Dragoon, bro.
interesting. Okay,
Bro,
okay.
I would take Legend Dragoon over Metal Gear Solid, and that is not easy to
That's
say.
me.
Hey, man.
Okay, and I just wanna say one thing for chat and also panel members. This is not... we have not spoken about it before. This is not planned. This is just people's opinion. And most of us, Legend of Dragoon, all day, every day. It goes to show you how much of a gem PlayStation is sitting on. When they gonna wake up and make a Legend of Dragoon remake, I absolutely have no idea. I really wish soon though. What's your take on the PS trial, Akira?
PS5, like in general.
Trial. You know.
Oh, trial. Oh, the PS5 trial.
Yeah.
You know, it has a good idea with the you know, it was a good idea with the demos. I think the only thing that I'm seeing people complaining about is, you know, the download.
Yeah,
the download time is included.
That's something they
everybody
should,
has fast internet.
Yeah, that's something they should iron out.
Now, Karaba, my honest opinions about it though is, to be honest, it's too long for a trial.
You know,
like I'm gonna say,
so,
for example, let's just say somebody has fast internet, right? And it's gonna take them, I don't know, like an hour to fucking download Death Stranding trial, and they got 5 hours to play the game, right? And I honestly believe it's way too long. It doesn't even feel like a demo anymore.
Yeah.
If I can say it like that.
No. This is also not meant to be a demo. This is a trial. Everything you play is gonna carry on to the full game if you buy it, which is.
I mean, demo also carries out.
Demo, most of the demo you play it, you move on. When you play the game, you're gonna play from the start. But with this one, you're gonna continue.
I think they should not include the download time.
If you buy the game, you're gonna continue where you left off. And of course, PlayStation needs to iron a few things out. First of all, no download time. That shouldn't be counted. Second of all,
it should not be counted. Yeah.
Even if it shouldn't be 10 hours, 4 hours, it should be a section of the game. So people get the gist of it and don't finish a game. Like I can literally download and play and finish Sackboy Adventure in 6 hours. That's easy doable. Because I don't need to get every single level at maximum stars, so full stars, and I am good to go. And I genuinely can beat right now if I want, which I'm not gonna do. That's disrespectful to PlayStation. Try the trial for Sackboy Adventure. Play it, and I can beat it. I genuinely can beat it in 6 hours.
This is I think, for example, Death Stranding, right? For example, Death Stranding trial or demo would have made more sense. For example, like Chapter 3. You know what I mean? Like you just give them the whole Chapter 3, and they got enough to play around with. Basically,
you're gonna get the gist, you're gonna get everything, and you're gonna know that the more you play, the better things you unlock. However, if the gameplay loop is not for you, then you know. By Chapter 3, you should know. That's when the story opens up, I think, right? When you...
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
in my
the
opinion,
thing is,
then in my opinion, they
ahead.
should allow you to play still chapter 3 and even play chapter 3 until when you get to the boss, and then they're gonna put you with to be continuous screen or anything like that.
Exactly.
Like even
It's like that's like how most demos
yeah,
work.
like even
ahead.
allow you to play chapter 3, which will include you the open world area, so you can get the gift that this is not a small
Yeah.
place to play. No, you get to play in open world places as well, and you're gonna build a bit, you're gonna try stuff, and you're gonna make your point, you're gonna make your purchase, because by that time you're gonna be addicted to the gameplay or
Carmen?
you're not, and you're gonna want to know what the story is gonna be, so you're gonna want to buy the game, or you're gonna say, okay, this is not for me, and you're gonna skip on it. That's genuinely a great idea. So yeah,
Yeah, can I ask you guys a
of
question? real
course
quick?
you have enough time to ask.
Did you guys play the Resident Evil 8 demos? They were actual sections of the game that were cut out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
mad.
Really?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
Resident Evil 7. The same. They
Yeah.
did the same with Resident Evil 7.
So how did you feel about those?
I
demos?
like that. I like that. If you cut out content that are important or stuff like or set pieces or stuff like that, cut them out. Cut them out in a demo.
This is
But a trial, that's a
'Cause it-
different thing.
Because it
This is,
felt like
again,
it gave
sorry,
you
go ahead.
it felt like it gave you like an idea of the gameplay and what to kind of expect about the atmosphere of the game.
Exactly,
Atmosphere,
and without giving
Yeah.
away too much. Yeah.
Right. So maybe that's how that they could do trials, and depending on how big the game is and how long it would take to get those samples
I
of those
disagree.
games, they could have different
I
times.
disagree with trials
maybe.
because trials is gonna get carried over to the game, full game. So you don't need to replay the game all over again. So the point with the trials is it's no longer a demo. You're gonna play from the start, and when you buy the game, you continue. You don't need to replay the game. So if they're gonna cut content out, what I mean by content, I mean set pieces and stuff like that, then it's not gonna be the full game you're gonna try out. So what I mean by that is the trial. And so you're gonna need to replace the game when you buy the game to see the additional content that they cut out. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
This is again, the trials idea has a good ring to it, but I think it needs more. It needs more work.
Yeah.
Like it needs more. I don't know how you call it. It needs more finesse or something.
This is absolutely.
It needs an
too
overhaul
early.
to make it to make it up to to make sure that it can actually encourage people to buy
Exactly.
games. Because like you said, if you give someone 6 hours to play Sackboy, it might end up fucking finishing the game without really the need
Right.
to buy
But
it. And the idea of a trial or a demo is supposed to, like, if you're gonna get convinced if you want to buy the game or not. So like putting one chapter of a game for a trial is actually a better idea in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I genuinely agree with that. Okay, and not the final topic. The next topic is gonna be okay. So, in my opinion, you've seen how Square Enix did with E3, how bad that event was, and then
I was so mad about
yeah,
that.
exactly. And then they come to their house, Japan, and Tokyo Game Show, and they shit the bed again. So my question to you is, do you think we are the blame for it? What I mean for that is, are we expecting too much from developers to showcase, especially after they got hit by COVID and stuff like that? And what I will also add is, should game events be either abolished completely or certain events removed, like for example, remove Gamescom, have just E3 and Tokyo Game Show, or should we do it every other year? So one entire year we skip over news, and the next year we get news, so we can have additional content and not for developers to show up when they have nothing to show and waste our time and their time. What's your opinion, Akira?
Okay, this one is interesting. So, first of all, my opinion about events has always been the same. I wish like every publisher should just do like a PlayStation showcase, so that they can be sure that they're ready to show something. Because they're planning it, right? So they will know if they got something to show or not. Just like with the last 3 PlayStation showcases, they were always ready, so they got always something good to show people. And what do you call this? I think, especially with Square Enix, it's a bit tricky because if you watch TGS, they said that there are game anniversaries coming up, and that's when they want to share info about those games. Which I understand because if there's a game anniversary, I would love to know new info about if they have a game or not, if they're going to announce a game or not, something like that. So I like the idea, but I really think that with game events, especially right now, I have a feeling that we're also kind of explaining too much, especially that COVID was on the rise before, and it only started getting better. So I think maybe game events next year would be a lot better. I think it'll start with the Game Awards. If the Game Awards, gives on a good start with the game events or the trailers or announcements or updates, then I think we're gonna see improvement in the showcases or game events that that we're gonna experience in 2022. And I think COVID really plays a part in that. But also, I really prefer if they would just do publisher PlayStation Showcase, Xbox Showcase, Square Enix Showcase, Capcom Showcase, something like that.
No, Vince, that
like their
would
own
be interesting.
main event, something like that.
That's way better than what I even suggested. Because at least then all eyes will be on that showcase, and at the same time they would have an entire year to gather something and show you something. Who was talking?
Yeah, I like what Black Myth Wukong did. With Black Myth Wukong, right?
Mhm.
They revealed the game, and then after a year, they gave new info about the game, and they got so much to show because they were so prepared about
Almost
it.
10 minutes of gameplay.
And I kind of
yeah?
feel like a game, more gameplay, and I kind of feel like a game that is announced, for some time now, should at least be giving yearly updates. There are some games where they announce in like 2 years they got no updates at all, and you think if it's cancelled or is it still alive? Elden Ring being a main example.
I am looking at
And I really
I am
believe
looking
that-
at Final Fantasy 16. Despite the updates that
Wait.
we've gotten, we should have gotten at least a little bit of showcase by now, don't you think?
This the second PS showcase was the last time we saw Final Fantasy 16, right? That
That's
was
literally a year ago.
wait. That was last year?
Yeah, that's literally last year. This is, and we were supposed to get more information this year. They just delivered the information,
Oh god.
but
Okay, so
no showcase. Yeah.
16 was special because Yoshi P said he wants
Nah,
when he shows the second trailer.
We're not gonna do that.
Just
We're
listen.
not gonna do that.
When he shows the second trailer, he wants that people gets the game as soon as possible when they pre-order. It's kind of like what he said, right?
But the game is almost finished according to the
Yeah. Do you know when the Final Fantasy anniversary happens?
when's that?
December 18.
Let's hope they showcase you something by then.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm waiting for. I hope they show us something on December. If not, then maybe I would also be a bit disappointed they're not going to show anything on December.
Okay,
But yeah, I'm going to wait for the anniversry like they said on TGS.
gotcha.
But I get you. I'm most excited for 16.
One-
Very excited for 16.
One lady, to go to a different topic, one lady tweeted out, she want the ability to skip bosses in video game. That's her.
This one.
That's her take. What's your opinion? Go ahead.
Oh god, man! Like, this is a hard one because gaming is an interactive medium, right? And the enjoyment of the experience is sometimes within the interactivity itself. So if you give the ability to skip bosses, I think it's gonna hurt the game a lot. For example, you got a game like Sekiro, for example, with fucking stories hidden behind the background that you need to dig up like a lore, right? And if you gave the ability to skip bosses in Sekiro, it's gonna be a boring ass game. It's gonna be almost a bad game in that aspect, if you know what I mean. It will be considered a bad game because it got nothing anymore to attract its players if you give them the option to skip bosses. And I think that's also going to affect reviews. Because, for example, you get a game like Bloodborne that has great reviews, right? And then you give them the reviewer the option to fucking skip bosses, then he's going to think the game is really bad, right? Because it's going to be boring as fuck. So I think this shouldn't be a thing. The skipping bosses thing, I really think it shouldn't be a thing. Because I honestly believe it's going to hurt the game. And I want games to succeed. That's kind of like my idea of it.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And since you're here, and I didn't want to touch upon this topic, but more and more information will come out that is genuinely looking at this being real. First, I'm gonna make use of a screenshot I got from a person, and let me see where he is.
Is this about Konami?
Yep,
Or?
you understand it, but I need to make use of the screenshot. So it's actually from PlayStation Classic. I got it from Twitter account is Classic PS. I always wanna give credit to. So here is Jamitsu. I don't know how you pronounce it. Have stated that a new Silent Hill is in development by Kojima and is
funded by Sony.
Yeah, and funded by Sony. So yeah, and before people start saying rumor, Jamitsu is the same newspaper. Is it a newspaper? What is it?
Jamitsu is a popular Japanese, outlet.
Okay.
They both have website. They got magazine. They're basically Famitsu.
Okay.
They're kind of Famitsu.
Okay.
They're like Famitsu.
Gotcha. So Jamitsu called all these. What I'm about to say. Jamitsu claimed Dead Space is in development by Motive.
Yeah.
This is an reimagination and not a sequel to an existing trilogy. We're completely correct.
Yeah.
Jamitsu claimed Persona 4 Golden will be announced for PC during PC Gaming Showcase Show 2020 on June 13 and will release on the same day. One second. On the same day. Oh shit.
Oh, I was gonna say while you getting your thoughts for a second, I'm gonna head
Yeah.
out. I gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I stopped because to read your tweet. But yeah, thanks for coming.
Was it? Is that Rick or Rafe? Was it?
Yeah, thanks for coming, Rafe.
Inante.
But hey, wait a second.
Yeah, bro.
Before you leave, you wanna let people know where they can find you?
Yeah. I mean, on PSN, Innate, everywhere else, Xbox, and also on Twitter at The Real Innate. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be gaming later on. I'm gonna head out. Time to go visit the nieces and nephews. Probably bring them back to play some PS5 because,
fun, bro.
Thanks
gonna do that thing, man.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for your insight. Very, very, very informative as heck. Glad having you on.
Definitely, man. I can't wait for next week. We'll do it again.
Yeah, bro. That time I'm not gonna be late. All right.
No, for sure, man. It's all good. Like I was out in the middle of the desert last weekend, so you can never predict where you're gonna be, but you try to get in when you can.
Hell yeah.
And I already follow all you guys, so it's all good.
This is why I have so many people. The people can join, they join. The people that don't, that have life stuff, they do their life stuff. This is not a work. This is just for fun. So, genuinely, thanks for coming.
It's fun,
and see you next time. See you next week in 8.
Definitely, man. I'll be in the chat or whatever. I'm gonna just be driving, so I'm gonna put it on the Bluetooth and listen up.
Good luck with you driving.
Later.
Hey, I see we have a new person here. Aobi.
What?
And he is muted.
Oh, what?
Aobi. He is a cool dude. I don't know how he wanna be called, but I don't know if you interact with them. But he is a cool dude. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. Jimisto claimed Persona 4 Golden will be announced for PC during PC Gaming Show 2020, June 13, and will release on same day. Though the existence of PC version of PC4 leaked before Jimisto article, it was completely correct on reveal and release day, and they were still correct. So far, 2 for 2. Jimisto claims Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy will be remastered for Switch. They were corrected as well. Jimisto claims Resident Evil 8 is real, will be in first person, and will support VR. Mostly correct. Resident Evil 8 is real and in first person, but there was no VR support for it. It probably was never intended to be there because by now we would heard about it. Or, in my opinion, they might be waiting for PSVR 2 and then announce it as that. Could be.
That would be awesome.
Works too, yeah.
Jimisto claimed in 2019 that the next From Software game will be revealed at Xbox event. It's an open world game with horse riding created in collaboration between Hidetaka Miyazaki, George P.R. Martin, and Bandai Namco. Completely correct. Again, you don't just say what you're saying unless you're 100% sure about it, because this is specific information. Collaboration between Hidetaka Miyazaki and George P.R. Martin, and it's going to be published by Bandai Namco. Like, you don't do that unless you're certainly certain about what you have. Claimed Final Fantasy XV
Origin
will release on September 30, 2016. I think 15 then. That was correct, but eventually Square Enix delayed the release to November, but still correct. Jimisto claims that Super Smash Bros. Wii U 3DS roster will be expanded by these characters. Shulk, Palutena will be Chorus Man, Greninja from Pokemon X and Y, and Mega Man, and let me see. Okay, Mega Man, Villager, Wii Fit, Trainer, Little Pac-Man, and me. Mostly correct, though there was no Chorus Man, but he was later found in data mine. So still, they had information. Now, rumored to look forward to. Jimisto claimed so New Silent Hill is a development by Kojima Production and Sony. And they also claimed that Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, will have content change to make it more sustainable for modern audience. So, if I am hearing that correct, then Grand Theft Auto is gonna be more PG then, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is what do you call this? Gematsu is a really difficult source to, let's say, disregard to be honest. Because, this is actually funny. There was a conversation I had a while ago. I mean, this guy was an Xbox fan. And he said he believes Jeff Grubb over Gematsu.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Are you are you insane?
Let me get back at Jeff Grubb for a bit. This is the same dude that said that PlayStation is no, Xbox is in touch with Kojima and they are finalizing the deal for a game.
Yeah, the letter of intent. Letter of intent, my ass.
Out of nowhere,
Bullshit.
PlayStation come in and swoop Kojima. I don't believe that. I genuinely don't believe
dude,
that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the letter of intent is just an escape route because he knows how dumb butts are. He's gonna eat his bullshit up.
Of course they do.
That's why he gave that letter of intent bullshit. And he's like, well, there's already 200 signatures on the letter of intent, but Sony can still retaliate. Sony can outbid Microsoft now? I thought they're bankrupt. Like,
exactly. I will go for one last time, Akira, and then we'll go to the panel.
Alright, so we're going to do it.
As someone that is... You're half Japanese, right?
Yeah.
And you have been to Japan.
Yeah, of course. Back and forth,
you got some information about the Japanese industry. Or mostly the Asian industry as well. Is this rumor believable, yes or no? And why yes, why no?
Again, Gematsu is a source that is hard to disregard because they get so many things correct. That is actually true, especially when it comes to Asia and Japan. They are really, really on the ball a lot of times when they reveal information. So when they say Kojima is working on a Silent Hill game funded by Sony, it's really hard to disregard what they're saying because, like I said, I don't even remember the last time Gematsu was wrong. That's kind of like how many times they got a lot of things correct. So now, if I think about industry-wise, yes, Kojima and Konami can work again together. Especially, I don't know if you knew this, Karaba, but Konami has a new boss.
Oh yeah, that boss that left PlayStation and joined PlayStation. He could be the mediator between them.
So basically, Konami got a lot of people replaced by new people. There's a new regime happening at Konami right now, and these new regime, from what I'm seeing from the background, these people right now, they're pro console, which is the reason why they're getting back to consoles now again. And yes, these people can actually establish a proper connection with Kojima again, especially if Sony is involved.
But remember,
because
the dude that left Konami from Konami, oh no, that was Capcom. Never mind, that was a different person.
Again, it's all good. But again, because of the new regime, yes, Kojima and Konami can work again because the person who basically got him fired is gone. They're gone.
Especially
and we got new people.
Yeah, especially with PlayStation mediator, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with Sony, basically, in the middle, like, I don't know, kind of representing Kojima, let's call it that way. There is a huge possibility now to have those IPs being worked on by other developers again. And this is the thing. What I said to Chris Righteous is this: Capcom and Square Enix were down at the bottom back in the day. They were close to bankruptcy basically, and then they were able to bounce back. Capcom is now one of the most profitable Japanese companies. They made great fucking games. That's how they bounced back. They made a lot of dumbass decisions back in the PS3, and then I don't know, they kind of reevaluate on that, and then they start releasing banger after banger, and then now they're one of the most profitable Japanese companies. They're one of the most fastest growing Japanese companies, and when it comes to employment in the game industry, Capcom is top one. Capcom is the first one that gets, let's say, kind of like the dream company to work in when it comes to Japan game industry. So Square Enix is the same. Square Enix made a lot of dumbass mistakes, and then they also bounced back by providing a lot of great games. The Japanese part, by the way, the Western part is this fucking mess, with Avengers and and
Gotcha.
Guardians of the
Gotcha.
Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah, and so now my question is, because of Konami turning over a new leaf with this new regime and new people who actually love console gaming now, they're not on the pachinko front anymore because that guy's gone. I'm wondering if Konami can also bounce back. That's what I'm thinking of right now. I wonder if Konami, the GOAT, used to be the greatest of all time when it comes to Japanese publishers. I wonder if they can actually bounce back as well, just like Square Enix and Capcom did.
Maybe
It's not impossible anymore.
Maybe with a genuine, what's called, Silent Hill created by Konami and PlayStation and Kojima.
Karaba, the IPs with Konami, they're still fucking gold, There's still a lot of people who wants that shit. And if they just really find good developers to really work on that and outsource those IPs, they're gonna earn a ton of money. They just need to make wise decisions this time. And I really believe Konami can bounce back. Like, finally, it's been 3 fucking generations.
Okay.
2 generations. It's been 2 generations.
To cut it
they have not been
short,
bounced.
thanks for insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What's your opinion?
Could you ask the question one more time?
Is the whole Kojima rumor believable for you or no?
The Kojima blooper?
Okay, so to put it simple, rumor is Kojima is working with PlayStation and Konami to bring back Silent Hill.
Oh yeah. I feel like Kojima's relationship with PlayStation is too strong. I don't know. I can't really see him work. I mean,
No. You're misunderstanding. This is
no. One sec, Karaba. I wanted to press on that actually. I said a while ago to Wooly, I said Bluepoint. By the way, Bluepoint was already kind of like part of PlayStation family because the PlayStation Studios kind of like keeps on congratulating them whenever they do something great, right? And they were not part of PlayStation Studios yet. However, they're also doing that to Kojima Productions.
Yeah, how many times?
They fucking greeted their birthday.
How many times Herman Holt has said, congratulated, name drop Kojima? Like, I would genuinely not be surprised if PlayStation acquired Kojima production.
I would love that.
Continue, so let me explain something to Kay, because she misunderstood the question. Kojima is not working with Konami alone. He is working with Konami via PlayStation. The game is gonna be PlayStation exclusive. And PlayStation is funding the IP, from what the rumor is.
Okay.
And Konami and Kojima is using the Konami IP, which is Silent Hill, and remaking it himself. Now, for you, is that believable or no?
I feel like if it were going to happen, it would be that.
Exactly. Would you want a new Silent Hill IP?
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. Hold on a second.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Morgan. What's your opinion on that? Believable or not?
I really, really want to believe this because I would love for that. It just not the Silent Hill IP itself, but just the idea that Konami and Kojima have maybe not fully mended, but there's a bridge there. They're trying. Like just the idea of that is great in itself. So I really, really want to believe this because, like, definitely that would be like the epic hill in this. Like, it would just be so just epic news that Konami and Kojima are semi working together again to produce another banger. So I'm gonna.
Did you cut out? Are you guys here?
Yeah. Morgan, Morgan's still there.
Morgan,
Right?
all of a sudden, she got eaten. And I see Kay left. So I'm gonna make a point and make them say that both Kay and what's called Race had to leave. No issue in that.
No, he's not here either.
Huh? Oh no, Kay came back. Hey, Kay is back again. Morgan, if you can hear us, go back then come back again. Maybe that will help. Hey, Yubi, are you here? Rashid, I think your name, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Introduce yourself, what you've been playing, and we can go talk about the topic very fast with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've never used Discord before, so I wasn't sure. My name is Rashid, and what I'm playing is a game called it's called Watam. It was the guy that made Katamari Damacy. I don't know if you remember that game. And, so it's a game that me and my daughter can play together.
Nice.
So
how is your daughter, by the way? I hope she is doing better.
I'll DM you about that because I did. And you know that situation because the last I DM'd you was what's going on medically.
Okay.
So, but I appreciate you asking because you always ask about her, and I told you that's why.
It's important.
Join as much. Yeah, I can't join as much as I'd like.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's why this podcast is not professional. Just people come talk about gaming and that's it. When you can join, you join. When you can't join, you don't join. Easy. Just make sure to listen back and give a feedback.
Yep, and I appreciate it. And as for the last topic you were talking about, I think it's a possibility. I know with Sony was congratulating Bluepoint and Insomniac and things. The only thing I feel is that those studios have worked with Sony for a long time, and Kojima Studios is rather new. So that's the only thing I'm not sure about. But I wouldn't be surprised if they got bought by PlayStation. But the second thing, I don't know if he wants to be under anybody after what happened with Konami. So I'm not sure. I feel like PlayStation would be a good fit for everything that we know because of how they give studios freedom. And I feel with Kojima, it should be like 90-80% you give him freedom because I feel like his artistic mind, a lot of people might not gather that, so someone might have to say, that's enough. That's enough.
In my opinion, with Herman Holt at the helm, he knows Kojima. I think Herman Holt would allow Kojima to go all the way out with his creative freedom.
I just don't know if the mass. Yeah. I feel like they have to balance kind of the art. I feel like, and Sony does a great job of this, balancing art with the business side of it. I'm really not into the business side of it because I play a lot of indie games more than anything else, and I love indie games. Like I'm playing one right now, but I feel like as video games got more popular, it people started seeing it as a business. They want to just pump out like Fortnite copies or Battle Royale copies because they seen that made money. So I don't like how that became a big aspect of gaming more recently because I've been gaming for a long time. So I feel like with Kojima, he can deliver some artistic, thoughtful, creative. But since we have so many new people coming to gaming every day, they didn't get to experience a lot of the great side of it. They just got the Fortnites and the Call of Duties. And I'm not, if someone here enjoys that, that's fine. But for me, hold on one second, babe. It's just not my it's just not my thing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, we hear you.
Sorry, I'm using my AirPods and they died on me. I don't even know what was the last thing I said, but yeah.
Believable for you?
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna hold out on that hope.
Okay.
Probably just be disappointed. But,
Okay, so I'm gonna make one thing clear. I've seen a lot of people say, and not per se a lot of people, in my group people have said that, but more like people are gonna think this is another abandoned situation. I don't believe so. Because no big company, no big outlet confirmed abandoned. But this is genuinely coming from Gemitsu. Gemitsu is not some random. Gemitsu. Okay, I'm gonna be flat on it. Gemitsu is not Jeff Grubb. Jeff Grubb have took so many L's. Gemitsu is not Jeff Grubb. If I'm gonna believe Gemitsu over Jeff Grubb. It's called common sense, logic thinking. Okay. Okay. Can
Yes,
you?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
are you busy?
I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
So, do you believe it?
I don't know. It's really I'm a real skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of the person that's like I don't believe it until I see it.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Zarak.
All right. I believe him. It's possible. Their relations are pretty good, and I'm waiting for them to acquire that because I know they're about to acquire them, or they did.
I
already.
genuinely
One of
would
the
not
two.
be surprised if PlayStation acquired Kojima.
But I would so
With
happy.
Kojima working with Herman Holt, I think key factor is Herman Holt. Again, when you offer, you give away your own engine for free. Like, this is your livelihood, right? Am I wrong? This is your engine is your livelihood. Like, it took you years to perfect and create your engine, and then you give it away for free. I never heard of anything like that ever happened before. And not only that, when Kojima first debuted Death Stranding, he did that with the Sucker Punch engine. So his relationship with PlayStation, it's on a whole different ball game compared to other companies. So I would genuinely not be surprised if this rumor is real.
Yep. It has to be.
Yeah. Only time will tell, eh?
Yep.
Okay. So Kay had to leave because of issue. I'm gonna make an announcement. Morgan, do you want to say it or do I say it?
Oh, yeah, you can say it. It's fine.
Okay. Well, when the show started, Morgan was a guest. Now the show is ending. It's official. Morgan is joining my podcast as a full-blown panel member. But of course, if she can't join, then she can't join that day. I have no issue with that. How do you feel about that, Morgan?
I feel very happy and I'm honored. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
It's always fun for having people that keeping it 100 and know what they're talking about. I'm passionate. So yeah, we started with different people we're ending with. I want to give a shout out to everyone that joined before and anyone that joined later. Looking at you, Akira. I would genuinely also want to give a shout out to our listeners. Feel free to hit the like button or dislike if you dislike the show. Leave a comment and yeah, give some feedback. How can we improve? How can we improve upon the show? And yeah, until next time. Let me give our outros. I forgot about that. Akira, where people can find you?
Sorry. Guys can find me on Twitter at Akira 092421, release date of Lost Judgment, basically. And yeah, I'm only there, and I do spaces here and there, basically. Thanks again.
Okay, Kay. Oh, what? I think Kay is busy. Morgan, where people can find you?
Yeah, people can also find me on Twitter. My Twitter's Chill Bandit. So yeah, just
okay. Rashid,
see me there.
can you hear? Yeah, he's busy with his daughter. The Wreck, where people can find you?
You can find me on Twitter. The Wreck. And my PSN username is on there, and my Twitter name. No, not Twitter. My YouTube name is also on there too. The Wreck, same thing. But thank y'all for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I'm gonna look up how to add every people information on the YouTube channel, and when I know how to do so, I will do so. Hopefully by next week I will have everyone Twitter information on my channel. Yeah, this was the second episode, and just a reminder, our show name is now called Game Player, or might become Game Slayers. I still have I'm still working on an intro for the show, and it's going to be dope if you're a fan of anime and games. So yeah, thank you for coming, and good night, everyone. Let me see how to end the